Show. And here's your host, Carlo Valerio.
Nice.
That was
What an intro.
Paul. That was.
I worked on that all through the holidays.
Please rewind and come again.
Yeah, right.
Or just come again.
I always like to
That's
come
good
again.
on radio.
Good
Anytime.
evening.
It's always good to come again.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Animal House Radio Show. Glad to have you all aboard. Got a great show for you lined up tonight. Tonight we have not one but two rock
Two mints in one.
legends. Yes, a drummer and a guitarist. First up in the 8 o'clock hour, we'll be speaking with Vinny Appice.
Yes.
Who was a legendary drummer and the brother of another legendary drummer, Carmine Appice. Don't ask me why they say him differently, but we'll find out.
It's just so we can tell them apart, that's all.
I think a
a dinner
more
request,
to it, though,
a
but
piece.
we'll find out.
Tomato.
And a little later on in the show, we're going to have Vivian Campbell from Def Leppard. He's going to be talking about the Def Leppard's recent induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of
And his
Fame.
new soup. He's got a new soup
love
out.
that.
Yes, Campbell's. Which I think, if you're a Def Leppard fan, you'll agree with me that it was long overdue. So congratulations to them.
Yeah.
And he's got a new album out. He's in, actually, Vinny Appice is in the band as well. They have a band called Last in Line, and their new album is gonna, the second album actually. This is the second album from this band. It's called 2, and that's gonna break February 22nd. And what's great about Last in Line, it's like a super group. It's basically the members of the Dio band. You have Vinny Appice, you have Jimmy Bain, who unfortunately passed away.
He will be torn then.
And yeah, Vivian Campbell, and it's just a really, really great group of guys. And they had such great success with the first album, which was called Heavy Crown. And now they're going to follow it up with this, and it's I'm sure it's going to be. I haven't had a chance to hear it yet, but I know if you know you have Vinny Appice,
It's going to be good.
Campbell, it's going to be a good album.
I can relate to that title, too, Last in Line, because my last name is Veneer. I was always last in line.
Hey, listen, if you don't work out, your muscles Appice.
Well, you know what he said? He said
Certain
that
muscles.
Yes.
the reason why they named the band that is because he had no idea. Basically, they were just going to get together to have some fun with doing an album. They had no idea that the first one was going to blow up, and they had such success with this one, the first one, that they decided to do a second one. So now they said, we got our footing, now we can get a little bit more creative. So I'm great for them, and we'll talk to Vinny about it. And I'm curious, you know, because I was always a big fan of RJD, being Ronnie James Dio, one of the guys that I wish
Great
I could
voice.
have met in life. Yeah. I wish I could have met him, and I just wanted to pick his brain about what it was like working with somebody like that.
Right.
You know, this level. But
We're losing a lot of people, man, every year.
yeah, it's
But we're getting so many more because there's no wall.
But they're not musicians, unfortunately.
he'll be here all week, folks.
Hey, I'm working on a series of vagina-related songs.
The monologues?
Coming out with an album. The first one's going to be a Bee Gees remake. The first Muff is the deepest. And Rod Stewart, you know, how deep is your cunt? So,
Oh, nice.
how deep is your cunt? Oh, no, under 18, we can't do that.
Yes, this is a family-rated show. Not anymore.
Yeah.
That was a priceless Steinway.
Not anymore.
And Bananarama, let's not forget Carlo Valerio's waiting, talking Italian.
Oh yeah.
Bananarama.
So now, Tim Eli is here with us today.
If you didn't know.
If you didn't know, and always grateful to have him here. I'm glad.
And I'm not dead.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's always great to have him. I know sometimes he can't make it here, but I'm glad to see him in here more often now that he's loosened
Retired?
up his
Semi-retired?
I love you guys. I really do. Semi. It's not official because I got a ton of paperwork.
Right.
But this I will say, if it gets any colder, I'll have to sit down to piss.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gisela is here.
I am here.
She's got riddles. She's
I
got
have
trivia.
My inquiring
Inquiring
mind.
mind. Questions?
And we have a
Riddle.
special in-studio guest, Mark Merriman. Who
Mark
is
the Merry Man.
Oh,
He
come
is
on.
the president of the Path Train.
No,
He's
no,
recently
no
retired.
longer, no longer. No.
He's retired now.
Retired.
retired.
2 years. Checks keep coming, baby.
There you
Ka-ching,
go.
ka-ching.
Mark, what exactly did you do for the Path Train? You were
I
the-
was a general maintenance supervisor.
I remember when he was a
I
sergeant.
actually started at collecting the money out of the turnstiles.
Oh wow.
I remember when you were an inspector, too.
It's a progression. Well,
Now-
that was a different thing, yeah.
I always took the Path Trains to New York. I'm very familiar with them. When did they actually were instituted, the Path Trains?
1962. Before that, it was the Hudson Manhattan Railroad.
Oh, really? 1962. I didn't even
Well,
think.
well that's when the Port Authority took it over.
Remember, tell me the story about the time you found the
Frickin'
girl in the
Port
tracks.
Authorities, man.
Well, I want to hear if he's got any crazy stories.
He's
I'm
got
sure
one.
he's got.
He's got one.
No, I can't. It might impact my pension. I can't do this.
You can't tell the one about the girl in the tracks?
What girl in the tracks? Come on, stop.
Body part missing?
I know.
Next time,
I
come
can't
in
tell
here
that
with a
one.
mask and change your name.
All right, yeah, that's
the
what I
hell is
got to
your
do. I
problem?
know I can't.
Well,
I
go
can't.
behind the
They've
black
been very
curtain.
good. They were very good to me, except for that one time with the girl in the tracks. No.
Can't go behind the black curtain, and
Well, I
Frank's
gotta-
family's
Can't,
hiding back
absolutely
there.
not.
Without
no.
jeopardizing your pension, I got to.
No,
I got to.
Want me to tell the story?
I got to assume that you've seen and seen a lot of crazy stuff.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
believe
a
it.
lot of fatalities, a lot of crazy stuff, police activities, and
Yeah.
it was interesting. It was
Plus,
an
he,
interesting
I
job.
got news for you. Remember the World Trade Center was bombed the first time?
Right.
He was in it.
Thank you.
Remember when General Square and
Yes.
the ceiling fell
This
down?
was around
He was there.
92-ish. Yeah.
93
Great,
was the,
93.
the first World Trade bombing, and 83 was the ceiling collapse.
He was in both of them.
That was great.
I said to him, I'm not going anywhere with you.
Yeah.
Nah. Nah, it was. They
Hey,
used
back
to,
then-
they used to call me the Duke of Doom after that. Every 10 years, something happened to me. 83, 93, 2003, I broke a hand.
Is there any stories you could tell us that won't jeopardize your pension?
Yeah, it must be something.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Like something like a funny thing.
well, there was
that
a fight that broke out in the bus lanes one time on one of the buses, and they called the police. And we used to work very closely with the police.
Right.
So
Because you
love
were like
Roxanne.
security.
this
because
one
you.
guy, no, I wasn't security.
No,
I was,
but you
I was
had
like facility
access to
operations.
places
Oh
that-
yeah, absolutely. We
so
had the
you
police
were-
band and everything like that. So we were good friends at that time with a lot of the cops and stuff. So I see this one guy that I was good friends with running out, and he's going up, and I said, "You got backup?" He says, "No." I said, "I'll come behind you." So I go in the bus, and there's a fight, and we both grab a guy, and I just look at him, and he nods his head, and I hit the guy with this part of my elbow. It was the
Right.
biggest rush I ever had. I was like, boom! And then the guy dropped, and then they cuffed him up.
Oh, no, this
I was
day and
like,
age, that won't
This
jeopardize
is
your
great.
pension.
I
No.
said, he says, no, that's not going to happen again. I said, okay, that's not going to.
Imagine how 1962, the police didn't have tasers back then.
Right.
They had to drag you into a bathtub and throw a toaster in. That was their tasing back then, you
They
know?
had the George
Nice.
Kennedy nightsticks, like the Blue Knight. Remember?
I do remember that, yeah.
What was his name? Bumper Morgan.
Yeah.
They had those
There were some great
batons. Too. They
guys,
had the
though.
batons.
The boutons. Hey, come on. You can't say that on the air.
That was at the
They had,
St.
they had some kind of recreation.
Why don't you go on your new album, The
Mark.
Boutons?
Mark, how many used condoms did you find on the tracks?
It wasn't my forte, really. Actually, there were. We used to.
Why, you
have-
didn't blow them up and make a little
No,
animal?
I used to
He
fill
said
them
he
with
came up
jelly.
behind the guy.
He used to knit them into gloves for the homeless.
Didn't you have them at
Oh,
your
that was a
retirement
ton of
party?
homeless.
You had you had them all blown up at your.
No, I didn't do that. I didn't put my lips on anything there.
Oh, wow.
It was
You
very
know what's
good.
funny? I
Wash my hands a lot,
Paul-
a real lot.
Paul and Mark go back like 40 years, and
Yeah.
Mark's wife made him a surprise party.
Yeah, it was
And
fun.
Paul and she invited Paul to perform. Paul says, "Why don't you come with me since you know Mark? You know, I became friends with Mark." And Mark was totally caught off guard. He walks
Totally
in
shocked.
and he got scared.
Not-
Shit, there's 200 people going. Surprise, Mark! First thing out of his mouth was like, "Oh my shit! I had no idea. I gotta go home. I got gravy on the stove."
I had a pot of gravy, and I had the dog in the car. I went to the theater to drop off glasses. She told me she forgot her glasses. So I got the dog in the car. God rest its soul, he's dead now. But we got two
Well, he
new
froze
pups.
to death.
We got two new pups.
There goes your
Freeze to
pension.
death.
Dead dogs.
There we go, son of a bitch. I knew I was going to
He was
lose
the
it.
neck bones next to the meatballs. The dog.
Paul,
What is
smack
going
that
on?
table again. I lost the hearing in one of your
Look, I
first.
gotta go.
What are you, Khrushchev? Take a shoe off.
I gotta go home. I got a pot of gravy.
I did, and everybody was out.
Hey, these meatballs are especially good.
Nobody was good. Very spongy. Very spongy.
Spongy.
Oh, God.
Oh, the meat falls right off the bone.
That's what
It
she
does
said.
at my age.
Anyway, nah, come on now. Hey.
Hey, Gene,
He's
They
not
say-
in here. So
oh,
he's
we gotta
walking
move the
over.
camera up a little
He
bit.
left.
They want to see. Well, anyway, while we're waiting for Gene, let's give a shout out to 102 DLG Radio Orlando.
Yeah.
www.Raw Talk Online.
Online.
Our good friend Steve Jarrett at QStarFM.com.
Well, still hasn't shown up, that bastard.
Yeah, I don't know what's it. I see him. He's got a picture of him in a Captain Kirk's outfit. I'm like, okay, here we go.
It could be worse. It could be Captain Crunch's outfit. So.
He has conversations with him. That's the worst part. Also, and most importantly, American Forces Network. That show goes out to all our men and women overseas, at home and abroad. And we thank you for listening. And please be safe, whatever the part of the
Come home soon. Come home soon.
That's
please.
absolutely
God
true.
bless you.
And you can listen to past shows on Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, and iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio, Google Play Music.
If you go on YouTube,
everywhere.
don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Exactly.
Yes, please. We need to get that Facebook presence up. So subscribe to Twitter, Instagram.
If we get over 1,000 subscribers, Paul will be naked. So,
Yes, I have a very
will?
interesting
Wow.
trivia.
You will.
I'm like that every
At
night.
some point, yeah.
I'm like that every night. What the hell's the
Didn't
difference?
say where or when.
There's,
But you're not there on YouTube. No.
No, I'm not on YouTube. No, they need a larger screen.
there's a,
And you could pause it too.
That'd be
Wide
me.
angle.
That'd be me tube.
Wide angle.
and since Mark worked for the PA trains, I have a trivia question for him. There's two in Manhattan. There's two train stations, right? There's Penn Station,
Right.
and then there's Grand Central Station, correct?
Okay.
Well, that's not true because Grand Central Station is not the name of the train station. I found this out totally by accident. Grand Central Station, the actual term for the trains is Grand Central Terminal.
Right.
Grand Central Station is actually the post office.
Okay.
That's an interesting tidbit.
I'm
Not
glad-
that
glad you
anybody
brought that
gives a
up.
shit.
Well, so you asked him a trivia question and you answered it. on
That,
his
thank
behalf.
God.
So if you
I had
want to,
no idea where he was going.
so if you
with
want to
that.
mail a letter, if you want to mail a letter, don't put it on the train.
Yeah.
That's
Don't give it
Carlo
to the
for you.
conductor. And I'm glad Gene showed up on time today because he was too busy chasing recycling cans down the street. I can just picture, hey, come back here.
Somebody's got to do it.
5 cents when you turn them in, man.
We got to get the carpet.
Somebody's got to do it.
That's you only got 1 square of carpet. We need at least a few more.
That was 100 cans
Yeah.
worth.
It's like a coaster.
It's like a Lost in Space matzo. What the fuck is that?
Gene has up to $5 worth of cans right now.
Oh my God! I could just can you just picture Gene
swatch.
running down the street? Oh my God, Danielle, help me! Somebody help me, please!
I found a swatch.
A swatch.
A swatch.
A swatch.
I just need the schwartz.
Oh my
Sorry,
God.
sorry, easy. You took that a whole different. It's a whole added syllable there that will.
I'm a little late. I was coming in from the new Italian place next door in Vitros. Good food.
It's Italian food, right? It's
Hey
Italian
Mark,
food.
did you want to continue to work, or you just said that?
Half price for kids.
No, I was done.
You're done, yeah?
I was done. I didn't want to work no more.
I don't know. I give you a lot of credit being out in like the hot weather, the cold weather. That's got to take.
Hey, we
its
worked
toll on-
indoors. What are you talking
Well,
about?
I was a supervisor, so it wasn't as bad.
Yeah, but you didn't
I mean,
start
back
out-
in the day, yeah, but towards
you-
the end, I was doing this.
He
most
was
of
a
the time.
token employee.
No, but you didn't.
Ba-dum-bum.
Yeah, what was he? The
My
race
headphones
car
back.
monopoly.
Oh, sorry.
It's back.
I can't hear. Oh,
It
it
was
is
good.
You can hear.
You did that. It
I
came
can
back.
hear again.
He's a token employee. What was
Sorry.
he? The race car monopoly.
Easy.
Well, wait, you didn't start out as a supervisor though, so you had to.
No,
go
he
up-
started at the bottom, man.
No.
He was there a long time. You were there a long
Started in the
time.
bottom.
Thirty-
He
half.
started
years.
as a thimble. Worked his way up the battleship.
I was a shoe for a while.
The sure.
What exactly did you do? Like you had to like clean the tracks or something? Or-
No, you got the money on the turnstiles.
They
he
got the
told you.
Chinese doing that. They
What do you
built
mean at
them.
the end? The whole career. What
Well,
do you,
started out.
Korea.
the whole career.
That train goes that far?
Korea, yeah. Kim Jong Un.
It's a long tunnel.
That's a funny story. Somebody tried to hijack a train. Now this
No.
terminal.
Hijack it to where?
Denzel Washington. I saw that
Right.
movie.
Guy gets
There
on the
goes
train.
my hearing
He
again.
got on this was years ago. Got on the train in Newark, in
Says go straight.
World Trade Center. Goes into the goes to the cab, knocks on the door. He tells the guy, he says, "I'm hijacking this train."
Where you going?
He says,
Go to the next stop.
"What?" He says, "I want to go to Florida."
I'm gonna go to
He
Florida.
says, "Okay." Now the tracks only go to Newark and it
Right,
ends.
exactly.
That's it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He goes on. He says, "Control 02 to Newark." Right. We're being hijacked to Florida. And they're like, "Excuse me?" Yeah, I have an individual here. He's hijacking the train.
Can someone start laying tracks, please?
We're going to Florida.
Imagine if you were in
Man,
New York.
The
They
train
go to
pulls.
Jamaica.
The train pulls into Newark, and there's cops all over the place. This guy's got no freaking clue.
What an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the police
Wow.
look similar in
Was
New York
he-
than they do to Florida. Holy
It's
shit.
probably a given, but was he a sandwich short of a picnic, or was he just that stupid?
He was a few
Yeah, he
sandwiches.
was. He
nuts.
was just. He was in that class of people that just is
Okay.
Desperate.
Okay. Now.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I need a bus.
Where's Greyhound when you need him?
And here come the cowboys from Blazing
Get
Saddles.
me on
yeah.
there.
Definitely not a need for speed on that train.
Carla, do you
man.
remember a movie like more than 40 years ago, Dog Day Afternoon?
Sure, of course.
Al Pacino.
Hey, Sally, we could go to any country we want. I want to go to Wyoming.
Not on the PATH trains.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Attica.
Hijack the PATH train.
That's right, Lewis.
what
Someone
you're
did mention Florida. Florida.
Florida.
It's
the home
Florida.
Yes, the home of DJ Friction and
Orange juice.
Radio
And the
Orlando. And we never get invited to their meetings. They send you messages. We're having a meeting on Tuesday, and then I put up a thumbs up sign. He goes, "Oh, but it's not for you." I love you, Lewis. Just kidding.
That hurts.
But Gisela, you have your inquiring minds
I
tonight.
do, and I hope you guys have your thinking caps on.
All right,
Yes,
let's
ma'am,
throw
we
out the
do.
first
We
question.
do.
All right, the first one is you're in charge of creating a roast for a celebrity or a political figure. Could be someone who passed away, someone still alive. Who would you choose and why?
Let's start on your side there.
So
Living or dead, though. Living or living.
It can be living or dead.
Either
It's up
or,
to you.
yeah.
If it's
your
dead, it makes it
fantasy.
easier. Yeah.
I would
It's
think
your
you
fantasy.
want to roast somebody that never got roasted
You want to be
before.
playing with the dead? That's your thing.
Oh my God.
Does it have to be the celebrity roast as we know it, where it's all fun and games?
It
or
could
can
be-
we,
Like a Dean Martin roast.
It
Like the
could
Dean
be
Martin
evil.
roast.
Okay, well, that's what I mean.
It's
That
your
kind of
roast.
okay.
You
It's
do
your
it any-
roast.
any
You're
way you want.
creating
Yeah.
it. Yes.
I want to roast the broom rider, man. 'Cause- my second wife. The broom rider.
Yeah, but we didn't mean literally.
Oh, okay.
The broom rider.
Yeah.
It's not a pig roast.
I call mine plaintiff.
They say 15 minutes per pound. It'll take a week.
Tim's having a rotisserie built.
No. Yeah. There goes my pension. And there goes my alimony. No, really, celebrity roast for somebody, oh, gosh.
Alive or
It
dead.
doesn't have to be celebrity. It could be also political or someone, your wife, whatever you want. Think about that.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be great.
You
Like,
can tell me
you
there
know.
were going to be questions on this show.
Yeah, but these are fun.
And-
Quiz.
wait,
You
wait,
get
not-
points for him.
You
Not
didn't
just
study for
one.
this test?
Oh my God.
We have 3. All right, we'll
didn't
ask
study.
Don't you do your homework?
I just got done studying for a urine test
Excuse
last
me,
week.
but
it was just-
post these
passed,
before
by
the
way.
show
I
starts.
failed my pap smear.
Mark, what about you? Who would you like to see roasted if you had a chance?
It's hard to say.
Because you're a big fan of comedy.
Oh, has to be a comedian now?
That doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah. See, now I'm getting pigeonholed here. It's like a freaking.
Hey, don't knock it if you haven't tried it.
Yeah, but you know what? Politician, a librarian, perhaps. I don't know. I really don't know. I know that doesn't make for good radio.
All right. Well, I think it
I'll
would
come
be-
back. Come back.
ahead.
I'm gonna go.
I would love to do Jim Carrey.
You'd like
And
to
like-
do
and like-
Jim Carrey?
Yes, exactly. I would love to
Hello.
do him.
Check. Call him.
Really
You
good.
Imagine the
I'm kidding.
faces he makes when he's coming. dude.
With,
Yeah.
with, with the in living color in the background and J Lo doing her little dance, might as well go the whole.
That would be
line.
good. That would
Yeah, it
be
would
good.
be really good.
How funny is that we even spelled Vinny Appice's name and Gene still spelled it wrong.
Wow.
And I told you how to do it too.
Too many A's.
Appice?
He's an Apache
Happy.
now.
He's got a stuttering John keyboard.
I would either do the Marx Brothers or Abbott and Costello.
That's what I said on the way here.
Yeah.
I've never seen Abbott and Costello be roasted. That'd be cool.
Well, they didn't do TV back then as far as votes
Yeah.
go.
Tell you what, I went to see the movie Stan and Ollie the other day. by
How
the way.
was that? They looked really good
It's
too.
worth seeing once. They do a good
Yeah.
job with it.
I heard it
yeah.
got like a Razzie.
It might have. It's
Razzie.
not the greatest flick ever, but it's
Right.
worth seeing if you know them.
Right.
It's worth seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
They really definitely looked
And
like
you
it. They
find
did a
out,
good
yeah,
job in
you
makeup.
find out some things you never knew before, So
Right.
it's pretty cool.
That's good. No.
But celebrity roast. I mean, when I was young, I might have chosen a sports figure, but they're just so shallow. You know what I mean? There's nothing
Right.
big there. There's really
How
nothing.
about what's her name? What's her name? Marilyn Chambers.
That'd be good. Ivory
Behind the green
Snow-
door.
Ivory Snowbox.
Behind the green door.
Yeah. She's still alive.
Yeah, she's alive.
She could use the PR. We got to get her on.
She's
here
wearing the
for real.
diapers now.
Yeah, no kidding.
She's
Oh yeah, she's. Speaking of that, Tim, you remember the first adult film that you watched?
No, I don't, but I
Deep
have seen
Throat.
some of the famous ones. I saw that, yeah.
See?
Debbie
I
Does
remember.
Dallas.
I saw that one too, but the first, I don't know. I probably exploded and ran out of the room,
Yeah, mine was with
Yeah.
Samantha Strong.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Wow.
Mine was with Christy Canyon.
I remember
I
her.
don't
remember
remember the
her.
name of the
remember her.
movie, but I know that I was big into her in the 80s.
I wish I could. I've seen, like I said, the names. I've seen the names, the named movies anyway. Who hasn't seen them all? But I think my first video
Well,
might have
you
been
critique
one of
him,
the,
right? Don't you critique
one
him?
of the porn shops or something where you put the
He gives
quarter
them
in the
lots
booth,
of
you know?
raspberries.
Yeah.
Imagine a guy that critiques porn movies.
Yeah.
Like, sits-
I didn't like the plot.
you should, Tim, you should do a podcast just on critique.
It was great. I gave it 4
Oh
squirts.
my God.
That's right for spurts.
There you go. On Hamilton Radio, the new show starring.
You get a sticky star for that one.
Story, and I know the path.
Oh my goodness.
First porn. The truth is probably Debbie Does Dallas. See that or the Green Door? The Green Door. They were all a bunch of guys hanging on trapeze.
You could call it the junk on my drapes.
You took on my. Oh God, yeah.
That's a song, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It was a real knuckle shuffler. Forget my
Timothy,
drift.
Junk on my straight.
Well, let's.
All right, let's
Michael
go to the
Lepowski answered a question. He would love to do a Courtney Cox.
Oh,
Cox.
keeping in theme with the whole porno
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
definitely.
yeah,
so,
right.
Cox.
so there you go. That's who he
Sorry.
would roast.
I like when I used to listen to Stern. He used to break David Arquette's balls. He used to say, because he's married to Courtney
Right,
Cox, he used to
right.
go, "Hey, Dave, when are you going to get Courtney?" He used to say Courtney Cock and really get him. And he used to get so pissed off about it. It's not cock, it's cock. And
All right.
That's what she said.
All right, let's go to the next question.
Okay,
Gisela.
next question. Have you ever fell into a stereotype? If so, what was it and how did it make you feel? And if not, did you ever stereotype someone and why?
God's honest truth. No joke here. Growing up in Jersey, white guys. That's all we knew were stereotypes. Growing up in the burbs. That's all we knew. You know.
Paul, we
growing
got to
up.
stick with the deep throat.
But
No, see?
yeah, just a couple of months for real. I fell into a stereotype.
You did.
And I was the one stereotyped. It was over a parking space.
Mm-hmm.
The other car was a 40-ish African American woman.
Mm-hmm.
She went off on me. I'm not afraid of no old white trash and this and that.
Oh.
First and only time it's happened in my life, and that was literally just a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, wow.
So how did you feel? How did that make you feel?
Didn't feel good.
No,
Didn't
right?
feel good. It's like, this is so wrong, you know?
Were you mad at her or were you just like, whoa?
Annoyed with her.
Right.
You know, because
how
she's
dare
giving me
you
crap
judge
over
me,
a parking
right.
spot, you know?
Right.
And I guess, you know, guy stereotypes too. We're all pigs, you know, and meeting women, you know, you're just like the rest, you know, guys
Right.
are all dogs.
Do you do that for women? Do you think that?
Well, I lift my leg and piss on them, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Gene,
But,
let's go over this one
Wow.
more time.
Wow.
It's Vivian Campbell and Vinny Appice. You have Vivian Appice.
Well, you said something about Vivian.
yeah, there was a Vivian
And then-
earlier.
You did
It's-
say Vivian.
Earlier.
Vivian Appice is gonna be here.
APPICE. It's not ICIE.
Nice.
Get rid of
The
the
sister.
I between the C and the E.
Okay. This is Hooked on Phonics, brought to you by
I
HamiltonRadio.net.
think Gene got shaken up chasing those
What happened to the
recycling
questions?
cans.
Hey, where can you buy some of those phonics? I've heard some wild
got
stuff about
Vivian-
that shit.
You could go to Carl Wild Thing Valerio.
Oh.
You could find him on
Phonics.
Facebook.
Ask Paul the question.
I'd like 4 consonants.
So, Paul, have
Yes.
you ever fell into a stereotype? And if so,
Not in my mind, but I remember when I first fell into comedy, when I first went from music and I went solo and the comedy started taking over, people used to say, oh, he's a prop act. And I wasn't a prop. I mean, I did props, but I did props, I did music, I played piano, I played guitar, I did serious stuff. I did a little bit of everything. So I felt of myself as more of an entertainer than a comedian
Right.
Yeah.
or anything like. But people, you know, comics
He's an
when you start
entertainer.
out, they wanted to pigeonhole you. So they would say, oh, he's a prop act or he's a guitar
so how did
act.
that make you feel when you?
It bothered me, but not enough that I was going to say anything. I was like, okay, well, you want to call me whatever you want, but I'm an entertainer as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
Well, what about
When you guys could do a 3-hour show, let me
You're
know.
good, man.
Well, what about your time in the band? Did they ever stereotype that you had to be on drugs and stuff like
Right,
that?
like with the
I was
long
never though.
hair.
I wasn't.
No,
I
I'm
wasn't.
saying, but they usually think. Do you think that people who are rock stars are always, you know?
Yeah, well, of course.
No, I get that. Yeah.
I mean, because you went from the Navy to like long hair and like
Yeah, I did.
that was a big thing.
I went to Stark Naked. We had number 6 album. We were touring. We were like 18 years old.
And now you find him in the Exxon buying a lighter for his hash pipe.
Some things
And an
never
ice cream.
change,
And
though,
an ice
man.
cream.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's
In
not true. He
February.
vapes.
But
No,
we
you're
did all that stuff. We did all the rock and roll things back in those days. We were touring. We would destroy hotel rooms, and we did all that shit.
King Creole.
Did it all. We smoked. We'd smoke all. Okay, we wake up. We smoke pot. We do it. We go have breakfast. Come back. We smoke more pot. We go to lunch. Come back. We smoke more pot. We go to dinner. We smoke more pot. We do 3 sets. and in between the sets we'd smoke pot. Go
Yeah.
back to the hotel, smoke until we
Cook
fell
all night.
asleep.
I'm picking up a pattern here.
And that'll be on the cannabis.
That's what we did. We were
channel on
18 years
Hamilton
old. We thought
Radio.
it was a party. You know, we didn't take it
Part of
seriously.
the new
The
cannabis
cannabis, right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
on
Gisela, I
Hamilton.
forgot about the long hair stereotypes. I went through
yeah.
that at like 18 years old.
Sure.
And even you mentioned some of the entertainment stereotypes.
Yeah.
I went to I sent an online audition to a club, sent a video about 2 years ago. I think it's in Bristol, whatever it's called. I don't remember. And they replied, because I swear, I don't care. I do it.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we've seen your act before. Oh, you know, not
Right.
my
Your act.
particular act, but
Right.
we've seen your act before. We've seen it all.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about those kinds of stereotypes.
there's-
You're right.
there's so
Those
many.
And that
bastards.
sucks.
It
Yeah, it
is,
does.
because everybody wants to pigeonhole you.
I
Everybody
don't-
wants to.
Yeah, that
I
sucks.
never really stereotyped anybody because it didn't really. But I
I'm
got
sure
stereotyped
that's
early.
A lie.
No, I really didn't. They are what they are. You know, it's a.
How'd you get stereotyped?
Because of my dad, of who he
Oh,
was,
right,
my
right.
father was involved with certain people, and when I was younger, I was too. So automatically,
But you like that stereotype.
I did, and it
Back
worked.
then,
And
yeah.
it worked to my advantage. So I
Yeah.
didn't really complain because people were afraid of my dad, they were afraid of
Right.
my uncle, and eventually they became afraid of me. So it didn't bother me.
Were they afraid of your mother?
If like, no.
What was he, a dentist? No, it's a joke. I know. Don't say nothing.
Just
okay,
a
please.
drill sergeant.
No,
But,
Dan, please.
You know, and
How you
like,
doing?
it just worked for me, so I didn't really care. And eventually, even today, people still know. I still have that. I still get that respect, but I never was to like a
But
really.
I think that goes with anybody. If you're Italian, they'll stereotype you. Say you're in the mob. You know,
Well,
if you're Chinese, you
yes,
have a Chinese
but
restaurant.
I
If you're
actually
Greek, you
had
have a bunch
family
of
in-
diners.
Laundry.
I actually had
Laundry
family
When I was a
that
kid, the
was.
laundry.
I look at a woman now, I'm a creepy old guy, you know?
Yeah, but the difference is that I actually had family in. It wasn't like somebody
It
who
doesn't
really
matter.
has nothing
Even
to
if
do
you
with it.
didn't.
Well,
That's
I
the
wasn't a
stereotype.
regular Italian guy that didn't have anything. I did it. My father did it. My uncle did it. So the stereotype for lack of a better word was correct. But
Right.
you know, and like the whole if you're Italian, you the Sopranos and all that bullshit.
Right.
But I didn't care
Right.
because people like that. People, for some reason, this country is obsessed with mobs and all that other stuff. They loved it. So I let it work for me.
Hey, folks, seriously, for what it's worth, those of you that don't know Carlo like me and love him like a brother, it's not a stereotype, all right? And this guy's got a good heart. And can I have another week to pay you back?
Son of a bitch.
His father wasn't a dentist, but either way, you end up numb.
But I'm serious about Carlo. I love him like a brother. He's a
this
good
is
man.
number 4, VINNY.
My
thought it was
cousin
IE.
sent me.
This is.
I thought it was IE.
Gene, I could just do a show just here with just sitting over there with you.
So-
I love this.
Which
guy
car
so
is yours
much.
out there? The short bus? The short yellow bus? That's yours in the
Yeah.
back.
Mark, what about you?
Yeah, Mark.
I'm just a very simple life. I got nothing.
They didn't
nothing
stereotype
great.
you like Ralph Cramden. No.
I got stereotyped. It wasn't stereotype. It was just who I was in school
Right.
as a kid. I was always
Where did you grow up, Mark? Jersey or?
Jersey City.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we came back. My parents bought a house in Sayreville, but then I went to school in Jersey City. Then when I graduated school, I worked in Jersey City. So I never left Jersey City.
Oh, wow.
Basically.
For
You're
what
a
it's
city
worth,
guy.
Sayreville is my old stomping ground.
Sayreville, yeah.
You live near Bon Jovi?
Not far at all.
Actually, I was.
He was.
He offered me a position in the band,
And he said no.
and I said no.
Are you crazy?
He didn't know he wasn't famous yet.
Oh, he wasn't. Oh,
Well,
wow.
not-
And Bon
no.
Jovi said, all right.
No, he was.
All right.
No, he was.
All right.
He had a reputation that I wasn't my
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, not like us.
Obviously, the guy is doing great, and he's a phenomenal musician and all of that. But you know,
where
as a
is he
young
now?
kid, yeah, he's not here. He's not here doing this. That's for sure.
He went home. according to
He's
the
got no
song anyway.
pension.
So you
Does
don't
he have a
feel
pension?
stereotype being from Jersey City.
Gene, we have to.
Yeah, sometimes my wife will do that because I'll say
718
something
number?
about, I've known these guys a lot of years,
Yeah.
and she'll be like, years and years. You know people for years.
Because
But,
I think
that's
people
it.
do stereotype you from where you're from too.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You know, just
I bring
But
him
not
up.
not like you guys.
I bring
right.
him
No.
up. Well, speak of the devil.
Okay.
Devil's here.
No,
Son of
no.
a bitch, I don't want to be here when he's here.
Is he on? Hi, Vinny.
That is Vinny. Yeah.
Hey. All right,
There he is.
everybody. Joining us now on the phone is a legendary musician. He's a drummer like no other, and he's taken a few minutes out of his busy schedule to be with us tonight. He's going to promote his new album in the band Last in Line, which is a phenomenal band. Their second album is going to premiere on February 22nd. Please welcome, for the first time on the Animal House radio show, Mr. Vinny Appice.
Yeah!
baby.
Hey, thank you. What an introduction. Wow. All you're missing is some music.
Oh, can you get the music
You're
started?
worth
Being
every,
cute.
you're worth every syllable, Vinny. Don't kid yourself.
Thanks. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
It's good to have you back.
I had the pleasure to meet you last year at the Monster Mania in Maryland, and you were such a gentleman to us. And I have to tell you, I'm a big fan of your work. For many, many years, I followed you, especially at your time in the Dio band, which is a phenomenal band. And I have so many questions for you, and I know we don't have much time with you, but I got to start out by asking you, working with Ronnie James Dio, that's one gentleman that I never got the pleasure to meet. I would have loved to sit down and talk with him. What was it like working with him?
Well, Ronnie was amazing, and he, we became very close. So we were very good friends. We were like brothers, So it was a very comfortable relationship,
Right.
and it was really creative working with him on songs and how we approached the songs, and there was a lot to learn for me
Right.
with working with Ron.
Great voice.
And then, but in the long run, it was just kind of like the same because we're both from New York, and we both it was like the same tribe as let's jam and put some stuff together. It was down to the street level almost.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, that's Vinny. For those that don't know, and I can't see there'd be many people that don't know. For you, how did it start? When did you know that you wanted to be you wanted to be a drummer and that music was what you wanted to do? Did it start at an early age?
Yeah, it started early when my brother Carmine started. He's 11 years older than I am. So
I know. Okay, I know. It wasn't much of a
as
gap.
a kid, Carmine's band used to rehearse in the house.
Right.
I was like 7, 8 years old, and I used to watch them sit there on the floor and watch them, and I was like totally intrigued with that.
Right.
Like, wow, band playing live right here in front of me. So that got the fire going, and then he joined the Vanilla Fudge, and they became successful.
Right.
My parents always took us to the shows, and then to see my brother playing in front of a lot of people and big shows and stuff, that kind of got the fire like really going.
Right.
So that's when I knew I want to do that too.
Right. Well,
So I
watching
started practicing.
watching Carmine play the drums, is that where you got your love for the drums, or did you discover that on your own?
No, he actually, there were drums in the house, and then he had the band in the house, so everything together just like pointed me in that direction,
Oh, wow. Who were your early influences growing up musically? Who did you...
I listened to a lot of Zeppelin, a lot of my brother's stuff with the Fudge and Cactus.
wow.
Jimi Hendrix,
Hendrix,
Zeppelin, I said, and then a band called Blue Cheer, like that, really heavy and loud.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then some little bit of Black Sabbath, so all that kind of stuff. And then I discovered drummers like Mitch Mitchell and Billy Cobham, Buddy Rich, of course.
You're naming great guys. You're naming great drummers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Vinny, I have a question. This is Paul Veneer again. I know we asked this question last time you were on, but I forget the answer. Why you and your brother pronounce the names differently?
Because he's wrong.
We've never had him on. We've had his brother on.
Yeah, we had
This
the brother
is his
on.
first time.
Oh, okay. I'm
We had
confused. See, I'm
Carmine
confusing
on
both again. Okay.
Is it because
Yeah.
what is the what would your parents say? Who was right and who was wrong?
Well, my parents said Appice like I do.
Right.
And Carmine used to say Appice.
Right.
It's even on some of the early records, a live album from the
Right.
Fudge. And they introduced him, Carmine and Appice on the drums. And then he joined Rod Stewart, and I think Rod started pronouncing it Appice, so he went with that. And I didn't like the way that sound.
Oh, wow.
So I said Appice. And so there's Appice, Appice. And then we have an older brother who pronounces it Appice.
And I'm Italian, so I would agree with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
so it's all
funny.
messed up.
That's
all
funny.
easy.
That's
But
funny.
But it's funny. It creates
It is funny.
something to talk about.
Yeah.
between us.
And it separates the three of you, too.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
we had I pre-recorded an interview with Vivian Campbell the other day. It was a phenomenal interview. We're going to air it live tonight. And you are both in the band Last in Line, and you had an amazing first album. Heavy Crown was very well received, so much so that it prompted you to do the second album, which is going to come out on the 22nd, called 2. And what I was interested to learn is that this was basically just a bunch of the guys from the Dio band getting together and doing something fun, and you didn't realize it was going to turn into something really serious, and it was going to be so well received.
Right. That's the way it happened. We just got together when Jimmy was still with us,
right?
Jimmy Bain, as a jam. Viv called, "You want to jam?" Yeah. So it was just the three of us, and we had a good time. We had a lot of laughs.
Right.
And then we decided to do it again. And then I knew Andy Friedman was in town. I called him. I said, "Why don't you come down? You know some songs." So he sang, and it all sounded great. He blew everybody away. So then we decided gigs. Let's do gigs. Then the gigs led to eventually getting a record deal and recording the first album.
So
it turned into quite a band, you know.
Yeah.
We're writing our own stuff and playing a lot now, and it turned into a real band, not just it started as a Dio, the former Dio band playing Dio songs.
Yeah.
So now it's turned into a band with a history,
Yeah. The best things happen by accident, right, Vinny?
What's that?
The best things happen by accident, man, every time.
Yeah, when you put paper bands together, like, let's get this guy from this band and this guy from this band. On paper it looks good. Everybody's famous from a band. But that usually is put together and maybe a little more forced,
Right.
It doesn't last as long. This became, this is like a neighborhood band almost. And grew from there.
Yeah.
What I think put you guys over the top was that you had a sort of a chemistry together and a history, which I think makes for it's a plus. And the fact that the first album was like you were testing the waters, and now even and Vivian had said this too, that now they get a chance to get on the second album, you get a chance to get your footing, and you could be a little bit more creative.
Yeah, because we played a lot of gigs since the first album.
Right.
And now we got a new bass player, Phil Susan, when Jimmy passed. And Phil fits in perfectly. He's from the same family, and we know him for years.
Right.
And so he fit in perfectly. And the writing was easy, just like it was with Jimmy. And Phil's a little bit more of a melodic player than Jimmy.
Right.
So he adds a little something different, And so it just works as a band, writing and on stage. And then we really got tight, and we got, to know each other very well by doing all these shows together. So the new album is a little bit more, probably tighter and a little more polished in the right direction, but still maintains the raw, groove and heaviness and stuff.
What's your favorite track, Vinny?
On which album?
On the new one that you're working on.
The new one, I like Year of the Gun, which is out now on a video.
Oh, okay.
But I think it's an interesting song, and I like, there's another one called Give Up the Ghost that hasn't been released yet. That's like an AC/DC kind of vibe, real heavy, slower tempo. So I like them all,
Right.
They're all different.
Right.
I have no doubt that album is going to be shoot right to the top, and like I said, I wish you all the best. I got to ask you though, out of all the bands that you've had, that your time in, which one did you felt that you gelled the most with? Like, was it with Dio? Was it with Sabbath? Or
you know what? I think I gelled equally with both of those bands.
Yeah, that's good.
It just felt right. We became a band. It had that magic to it. And I'd say equally. The thing with Dio is it was a newer band. It was brand new, so we could experiment. Sabbath, you had to stay in that mold of what Sabbath should be doing and sound like, when we were in there. But I think it gelled both ways. It was both music I love,
Yeah.
I love to play heavy, loud stuff. So
sure, drummer.
This band's a lot of fun. Off stage, on stage, we have a great time.
You've had such a great career so far, and it's still going. Well, out of all the songs, what was your song that you enjoyed playing drums on the most? Out of all the stuff it must be one song that you really love playing drums on the most. That's a hard one, I
know. We Rock
right.
and Mob Rules.
Oh, Mob Rules, that's
two good songs.
Yeah.
And I like playing Star Maker from the first record from Last of Mine.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's fun.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, you know what? I almost forgot about it.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Vinny, you guys touring, as far as touring to support the albums, are these like national tours, or what kind of touring schedule you guys have?
Well, we're doing, we did 3 shows in Northern California. Then tomorrow we play Arizona. Then we do L.A. at the Whiskey. And then Ventura at the Ventura Theater on Saturday.
Cool.
Then we come back. We go to Wisconsin. And then we come back, go to Texas, run 4 or 5 shows there. So we're doing like flyouts for now.
Right.
Yeah, that's good, though.
All through pretty much the end of May.
Right.
And then in June, we got a gig in England at the Download Festival with Def Leppard. So that's gonna be
cool.
Too cool.
Cool, yeah.
That's cool.
And Viv will be doing 2 shows that day.
Yeah.
All right.
Are you coming to the East Coast at all during the summer?
East Coast would love you guys.
Yeah. In May, we'll be on the East Coast, too.
I think they're
New
gonna
York
be,
and then down the coast a little bit, too.
New York. I think they're going to be at the Wanta Theater in Long Island.
Okay,
So
Jones Beach?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think we're
Wanto.
Wanto, okay.
I think we're going to.
That's where I grew up. I grew up in Levittown. That's right next door.
Yeah, I think we're going to.
Yeah.
We knew that.
I'm going to try to get out there and bring some veterans out to the show. I want to, I know they'll enjoy that.
They will.
Yeah.
Vinny, I talked to Vivian, and I always ask this question of a lot of our guests, especially the musicians. How great is it for you, a guy who's had a tenure as long as you have, that, and we talked about this specifically, not so much Last in Line because you were newly formed, but a band like Def Leppard and Black Sabbath and Dio. When you go to a concert today, like for an example, I went to a Def Leppard concert last year, and I've been listening to them since the early '80s, and I'm a core fan that grew up with them. And to go to a concert now, years ago when you went to a Def Leppard concert, it was one generation. Now they're playing to 5 and 6 generations of fans that. There's no way they could have known this unless they were experienced it, from their parents or somebody, and they know the music better than we do.
Right. You're right.
Vinny, the baby boomers, we started this, man. The baby boomers.
Yeah. I don't think anybody knew all this stuff was going to last this long. I think, like in the 60s when Zeppelin came out, and even my brother's stuff, but Zeppelin and Deep Purple, Sabbath, they didn't think, 40 years later, you're going to still be bigger than ever. So I don't think anybody realized that. And you're right, because even now at our shows, whether it's Last in Line or the shows I did with Sabbath and Dio, more Sabbath, and then I do shows with my brother Carmine, there's a cross age group in that audience. There's young kids that are being turned on by their parents, and then there's the older guys. There's people in between, and it's really cool. You meet all these generations,
Yeah.
Right.
So,
exactly.
It's
a tribute to the music.
Well, listen to what else is out there these days. That's why
oh my God,
so much of it sounds the same.
Vinny, I don't want
some of this stuff is like, is that a computer on vocals?
Right.
You're so right. I don't want to disparage anybody because there's so many talented performers, but it just seems like it's like one of those Domino's pizzas or one of those ones you put in the oven that's frozen and they just slapped it together. I'd rather listen to something. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a musician. I'm a radio guy. I do comedy. It just seems like the passion isn't there anymore, like it was. I don't know.
It's more mechanical now.
Well, what happens?
It's more mechanical.
It's mechanical because when you record on the computer, you can make everything perfect.
Right.
You could, if you get a perfect verse, some bands might just take that drum track from the verse and paste it in the second verse.
Yeah.
And you can, make it so it's just totally perfect in time with the click. You could do the same thing with the vocal. You could put it in auto-tune.
Yep.
So there's so many things that are fixable now, and it makes it. But when you start pasting parts, that makes it more it makes it without personality. Yeah.
Well,
No soul.
definitely.
There's no soul, man. There's no soul.
Good,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, that's just.
I mean, we record on the last in line. We actually went in the room, wrote the songs, played them, went in the studio, played them live.
Exactly.
You know.
That's
And
the way I
if
do
there's
it.
something
Yeah.
to fix, we fix it.
That's what I do. I mean, I have a 24-track digital studio, but I record analog. I play the stuff live. I'm not using
Right.
samples and
well,
shit.
I use Cubase. I got a studio in the house here.
Right.
And I do a lot of sessions and things, and I love doing it. And I'm
Yeah.
the engineer.
Yep.
So I get this killer sound. But I'll fix things there.
Right.
Because sometimes, you know, it's not a band playing together, and you have to figure out
Right.
to make that part work, and I'll just go over it. Sometimes the parts, I punch in the part here and there, but
Yeah.
make sure it sounds natural, you know. And I
Exactly,
leave
yeah.
mistakes in there, too.
Right, right.
Sometimes the
On
mistakes are the best.
All the albums I've ever did, sometimes I didn't play it the way I wanted, and I heard it, I went, "Oh, that's interesting. Leave it." I don't
Yeah, I do the same
know.
thing. I do the same thing. Once I get the basic track down and I stop putting the overdubs, sometimes I'll just freewheel and see what happens. And sometimes you find little things and go, "That's a gem, man. I'm leaving that in. I'm leaving that one." in.
Yeah. I'll usually put up a song if I'm playing on somebody's song
Right.
or our song, testing it, and I'll just go crazy on it.
Yeah.
And then I'll listen to it, and I go, "Oh, that part works really well."
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly.
Use that. I'm going to use this other part. The rest of it's not good.
Yeah. The overdubs are my.
It's a good
I
way
love
to
the
find out
overdubs.
what works, you know.
Yeah,
I
you
love
know
doing
what?
overdubs.
The Last in Line is being produced by Jeff Pilson, right?
This second one's produced by him and us because
Right.
of scheduling problems. We had a lot of stuff we did on our own
Right.
as far as vocals, and Andy did all the vocals and melodies at his house.
Right.
Not all of them, but at least half of them or more. And then, you know, so we decided to cut it in half. You know, Jeff's great. Jeff's a great producer,
Right.
and he gets amazing sounds.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the album's mixed by Chris Collier, who's just a monster, man. He got that big fat sound on the first record,
Right.
and that's what this one sounds like. You know,
Great.
really cool stuff.
I can't wait to hear it.
Got to
Yeah.
get a good mixer. You got to get a
Yeah.
good mixer. when you
That's
do
the
this
whole
stuff.
key, man. That's the whole key right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you
Mixing
know-
and mastering is everything. You know, you could ruin a song pretty good if you don't mix it and master it right.
Yeah, I've been in studios. I've done things in studios like a session here and there. And they got an amazing studio and 20 mics miking the drums and
Yeah.
amazing. And then I go in and listen to it, and it sounds tame.
Right. Exactly.
My studio, I actually got a mic in the bathroom on a roll of toilet paper, and it gets this killer sound. and the bass drum head's it's a little bit too loose, so it flaps a little bit. It's real dirty.
Yeah.
So you can say the
that's when
sounds.
you
You can say
solo it.
so, Vinny. You can say the
But
sound.
if you play the whole kit, it's fine.
Vinny, you can say the sounds the shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Vinny,
Getting
you
a
mentioned-
shitty sound in the bathroom.
Vinny, you mentioned being 8 years old and watching your brother's band rehearse. I was wondering, is
Yeah.
there one band or maybe even one song, the first one that made you say, "This is for me"? Song, band, whatever.
Gee, you know, because I had my brother there with the band.
Yeah.
And just the whole excitement of that. And then you heard seeing the Beatles.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, the Beatles started so many people off. You know, seeing the Beatles playing
Yep.
and people, all the girls screaming and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Now, there wasn't really one song. I just was gradually introduced to it
Right.
since I had Carmine in the house with the drums and then with
Yeah.
the band, and it was like, man, this is. I didn't think of playing anything else. That's why I
Right.
play the drums like
I
him.
love that.
I
Yeah.
mean, between the work you and your brother did, I mean, I love everything you did with Dio and Black Sabbath, and I love Carmine's work with Blue Murder. That was amazing.
Yeah.
What I was amazed to
Thanks,
learn
thanks,
was Vivian told me, he says, even though this was a side project, everybody was 100% serious into it, but unfortunately, with everybody's schedule, you just had to do it piece by piece, and it would be weeks sometimes before you can get back into the studio.
Yeah.
And that being said, that's even a bigger testament to how great musicians you are, because, you know, it doesn't negatively affect the sound of what you guys put out.
Yeah, it's amazing because some of those songs were written, even on the first record, they were written in 1 month, and then 2 months later, or we went in and wrote more songs, and then 2 months later, more songs. But it all sounds pretty much the same thing. You know, they sound like the same album.
Right,
which is
right.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It gives you a chance to listen to. We recorded everything in the rehearsal place,
Right.
so it gives you a chance to really listen to the songs and what's going to work and what you're going to play, and maybe that song doesn't work. And then the next time you rehearse, we work on this song. You know, we had plenty of time to listen to it.
Right.
So it works in your favor too. That way.
Definitely does.
Sure
Definitely
does.
does.
Absolutely, and I have no doubt, like I said, that album's going to blow up.
Sure.
I wanted to ask you, Vinny, and I kick myself for missing it. You and Carmine were doing this thing called Drum Wars.
Yeah,
Are
we're
you
still
gonna
doing it.
I please, you got to let me know when you get to New York. I so wanted to go to the cutting room, and I didn't get a chance to get out there. That what exactly what are you guys doing? Because I heard it was an amazing experience.
It is. It's fun. When we started off more as for drummers, like at a clinic. We did a double drum clinic,
Right.
and then we started in that format. Then we realized, well, you can't really play a club with this, you know, or play a theater. So we started changing it around. We got a band, and then we decided, let's play music, all the cool stuff from our histories. So that's what we do. The show is a high-energy rock show,
Right.
and we start off playing together. We come out playing, jamming on the Mob Rules with 2 drummers, just smoking, you know. And then we have a original song called Drum Wars. We go into that.
Oh wow!
And then I'll play a couple of Dio songs, Sabbath songs. He'll play a couple of songs by himself.
Right.
And in between some of this is some drum things. And then we build up to the end where we both come back. Carmine does a little solo, then we play together. I do a little solo, then we do a couple of big songs at the end.
That's so
It's
cool.
really high energy. We kick the shit out of each other.
I bet. That's great.
And that all started with like a clinic atmosphere, huh?
Yeah, we were doing clinics. Well, we did them years ago, and we had such
Yeah.
a success doing them that they booked some more for us at the start of this, which
Yeah.
maybe 2010.
Yeah.
Then we decided we need to change it up so we can play as a show.
Right.
And that's what it is. It's
a great
pretty
idea.
much a high-energy rock show. We're doing like 10, 11 songs.
And the cutting room's such a great venue to do it in,
Yeah.
too. It's nice and intimate.
The
you
whole
know?
concept was so unique, and I kicked myself for missing it.
Again, you kicked yourself?
Vinny,
2 times.
you know, my son Dante is 7, and like when he was 3 or 4 years old, he had a natural affinity to drums, and it seemed like
He's actually younger than that. He
Was younger?
Yeah, he wasn't even 1 year old yet. My older son
Wow.
was 5. He had a drum set that he barely touched. So my 1-year-old, he wasn't even 1 yet, crawled over to the drum set, picked up the drumsticks, and started hitting it, but like in a way that you would think he knew what he was doing.
And maybe he did.
And
really?
and it wasn't like noise. It was actually pleasant to hear. But my
Right.
older son got so upset.
Yeah.
He took the drum set away from him, broke it apart, threw it in the garbage. Like literally, yeah, it was
The
done.
Who used to do that on
Yeah.
stage.
It was horrible. And
Some
then,
people making money doing it.
So then that Christmas, when he turned 1, we bought him his own drum set, and he was playing with it. And then my older son, they're 5 years apart, still got upset and destroyed that set.
Yeah.
Now he's 7, and
He
you know,
wants
he
to
shows
take-
interest, but I don't
Good.
know how to introduce that to him. Is he too young?
No, you're never too young.
No,
Never too young.
No.
No, you're not too young. You got to get him, but you know what? You got to get him a decent little set of drums,
Right.
not those paper things that
No.
have no sound.
Right.
Set of
You know.
Ludwig's.
You know, and it's funny.
It's ma-
Yeah.
You hear the real set of drums, they sound like drums,
Yep.
and they're more melodic, obviously.
Yeah.
True. My
Yeah.
grandmother said
Okay.
my dad is an Italian singer from Italy, but she said when he was little, like my son's age, younger, he played her pots. Like he
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
played her pots
Yeah.
and stuff, and he played by ear
Yeah.
always.
Well, pot and music goes together.
Yeah.
It does.
Well,
It
the
does.
problem.
Yeah, pots of music.
Yeah, right.
You see that. It sounds better.
Oh, so
The
funny.
problem is, Vinny, is that I want to get him lessons, but like I'm in like South Jersey by the shore, and you know, I don't want to send him to one of those schools where like I called one place, they want like $300 a month. I want to just get somebody to come over to the house
Yep.
that isn't in a band,
Yeah.
that's a solid drummer, and teach him, because I don't want to get committed, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much he's interested in
Oh
it.
my God.
He might do it for 1 or 2 times and then lose interest. But I just wanted to
I
explore
think
that.
it's in his blood. I think.
Are you his father?
I'm his stepdad.
Okay, because usually the dad teaching the son doesn't work.
No.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
I couldn't.
Same, yeah.
The only thing I know is drumsticks, and that's the ones I eat.
Like
Yeah.
like Carmine son Nicky, a while ago, he was playing a little bit, you know. So Carmine would teach him stuff, and they wound up either he
Butting
hated
heads.
it,
Right, exactly.
and it didn't go well. But
Yeah.
when I came over the house and showed him stuff, he
You were
loved
the
it
cool uncle.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
because it's dad, you know.
It's
so
a rebellious
I would
thing,
get
yeah.
somebody to come over the house
Yeah,
to show him some stuff, and then eventually, if he's liking it,
yeah,
learn how to read some stuff too.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
From the Bible books like Syncopation and Stick
Yep.
Control.
Yeah,
And
Because
he
when
loves
you can
that.
read that stuff and you study that, you really know what's going on with other people's playing when you want to rip
It's
something
Yeah.
off.
true.
Or
That's
exactly.
you want to know what Buddy Rich is trying, what you think he's doing.
right.
believe
Yeah.
it or not,
You
my
get an
son.
idea.
But
of that.
believe it or not, my son actually watches videos of Gene Krupa
Yeah.
on YouTube.
And I'm his
Oh,
mom,
that's cool.
so
Caravan.
I'm guilty of liking R&B, reggae, rap, all that. So
You're
when-
Carlo's mom?
Yes, I'm Carla's mom. And no, but my son loves rock, and he likes, and he'll say to me, I'm in the car, he's like, Mom, can you put old school rock on? And I'm
Yeah.
like looking at him,
Oh,
like,
I'm
are you
grin
my
from,
son?
When he says that, I grin from ear to ear because
Yeah.
then that way I don't have to listen to Bruno Mars.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I mean, listening to the new stuff, like, you know, there's not much you're going to learn from
No.
No, not at all.
listening to a rap song. I
No.
mean, it's good at what it does, but
Right.
listen to the drums in there. They're not even real drums.
No, not at all.
They're not.
They're horrible.
Thumps sometimes. So
Yep.
you can't learn from that.
Nope.
You learn how to rap maybe, but not
Right.
really play the drums, or there's no guitars in it usually. So
Right.
Not at all.
old school rock, there's stuff on there that's how I grew up. You listen to it, you go, oh, man, I want to learn that lick Mitch Mitchell just did.
Right.
And you listen to it over and over and over and try to get it, and there's things to learn from them.
It's even like when you have a
that
kid that's learning guitar, he always wants to start out with "Smoke on the Water," one of those classic anthems.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Well, you can't help
yeah.
it. You hear a guitar riff, and it's like magic. It really is.
It
you know?
is.
It's
Yeah.
so I don't,
Yeah.
but hopefully I'll find somebody. But I have a dear friend of mine who's been a guest on the show. He's a celebrated author, and he does book signings with your brother Carmine, John Diamore, and
Yes.
he's actually in our chat room right now, and he wanted me to ask you a story about bringing your mom to meet John Lennon.
Wow.
Yeah. What that is I played with John Lennon. The way it started was my band, when I was 16, we were in Brooklyn, and Jimmy Iovine lived in Brooklyn
Right.
from Interscope Records, and he was the producer of a lot of people, including John Lennon. So
Right.
he was a good friend. He brought us into the Record Plant Studios, produced us, and the Record Plant signed us to a management contract. So they gave us a nice big room up at the Record Plant in Manhattan to play,
Right.
to rehearse for free all the time.
Wow.
So one night, Jimmy called us while we were rehearsing and said, "Can you come down and do hand claps?" Sure. We go down there, put the headphones on, we look, and there's John Lennon. We go, oh, wow.
At 16 years
Holy
old, you are.
shit.
Wow.
So we did hand claps on the song, Whatever Gets You Through the Night. That's me.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
Right?
great.
So,
That's deep.
so then we went back up, and John must have asked Jimmy, "Where'd you get 9 people that quick?" And he must have told him we're rehearsing upstairs, because a couple days later he comes walking in, watches us, sits down, watches us rehearse, and he really liked us. I heard he was, after a while, he was thinking of using us as his band.
Oh, that would have been great.
Because it was a really good band. We were really tight, full-horn players.
Right.
So he used to hang out. We used to play pool. We used to smoke pot with him.
Right.
It became really cool because we never asked him for his autograph. Or
Right. You didn't harass him. Right.
He felt safe there, and that's what was important. So we were talking Italian food. So I told John, my family's Italian. My mother makes the homemade lasagna. And we're talking. So I said, you know what? I'll have her make you some.
Right.
So my mother made a pan of lasagna. I brought it to the studio, and I gave it to John when I saw him. He loved it. He said, "Thank you. Wow, cool." You know.
Yeah.
So about a month later, my brother's playing Madison Square Garden with Rod Stewart, and my parents always go see us play. So they went backstage. There was a party, and my mother, you know, the Italian little Italian fat woman. Hey, Charlie, that's my father. There's John Lennon. Let's go say hello. And so they went over there, said hello to John, and she's talking to him and said, I'm Vinny's mother, Carmine's mother. So, they were getting along really well. And at the end of the conversation, she goes, she told him, I made the lasagna. And so then at the end of the conversation, she goes, you got my pan?
Don't mess with her. Don't mess with the pan.
He's using it for the drums. He needs an extra sound.
Vinny, I have to ask you, do you speak
But to this
Italian?
day, we never found the pan. So
No? Oh, my God. They took it. You know that.
Vinny, Gisella's, she speaks fluent Italian. She was just curious if you do as well.
Yeah, do you?
Vaffanculo.
Really?
That's a yes.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
That's it. He got all
That's
the bad
that's
words.
all I
Got.
could say. I don't know.
He's got the vaffanculo.
That's all you need
and
to know.
mangiare, right?
Goods.
No.
Mangiare.
Mangiare.
Chiacchierone.
Ciao. Right.
Hey, Vinny, you have a website or anything that people can go to?
Yeah, VinnyAppice.com.
Okay, good.
Not a piece.
Not a piece.
I love when he says, how do you pronounce it? He goes, that's because my brother's wrong.
Yeah, that is a good line.
And
Oh, it is. He's wrong.
where can they? I'm sorry. Go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
No.
No, I was going to say something. I'm not going to say it.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
No, it's part of our show. I don't want to give it away.
Oh, okay.
That's all right.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask if I know the 2 is available for pre-order. They can get it on your website.
Well, 2 is available on Pledge Music. We have a pre-order campaign going on,
Right.
and you could order it from there, and among other items that are unique and fun to have. And it's going well, too. It's going really well.
That's good to hear. Good to hear.
I couldn't be more happier.
Well
for you.
deserve.
Yes.
Before you
Thank you.
go, Paul wanted to ask
Yeah, can you do a what do you call it? What's it called?
a
A station ID for us. I haven't done it so long. Can you do a station ID for us, Vinny?
Yeah.
Okay, all you got to do is just introduce yourself and say you're listening to the Animal House radio show on the Hamilton Radio Network. I know it's a lot to say, but if you can remember that.
Okay.
Animal House Radio Show.
Animal House
Radio Show on the Hamilton Radio Network. Yeah.
On the Hamilton what network?
Radio Network. Yep.
Oh, okay. Hamilton Radio Network.
Yeah. So say it
Okay.
anytime you want. Just introduce yourself and do it.
All right. This is Vinny Appice, and you're listening to the. I should name some bands that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
say whatever you want.
Okay. The Bee Gees, Bonnie and Marie.
The Bay
Hang
City
on.
Rollers.
ABBA.
You want to write it down? Want to write it
You're
down?
Listening to Animal House.
Radio Show on the Hamilton Radio Network.
House Radio Show.
On the Hamilton Radio Network.
Hamilton Radio Network. Okay.
Yeah. You say anything you want to say.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Network. Hi, this is Vinny Appice from Black Sabbath, Theo, Last in Mind. You're listening to the Hannibal
Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter Show.
With fava beans.
That's okay. This is fun.
A nice
All right,
Chianti.
ready?
Yep. Good.
Hi, this is Vinny Appice from Black Sabbath, Theo, and Last in Line. You're listening to the Animal House Radio Show on the Hamilton Radio Network.
Yay!
Yeah, baby.
You nailed it, brother.
Thank you so
nailed
much,
it.
Vinny. I
Vinny,
appreciate it.
I can't thank you
Not bad when I
enough.
write it down, I'll tell you.
Vinny, I can't thank you enough. It was an honor to meet you last year. Hopefully, we'll see you in Wanta in May. And continue
come down.
success. And
Yeah.
That'd be good.
you have an open invite anytime you want to come on this show, my friend.
Hey, if you get a chance, send us
okay.
some women.
Wow.
Oh, you don't want the lasagna? No, I'm kidding.
No pan.
We'll get a pan for you.
Yeah, give me a pan, will you? Actually,
We'll bring you some.
Actually, we did a thing in New York, and they brought Carmine a lasagna pan because he stole my story,
Oh, my
and they
God.
think it was his thing,
Oh,
you know.
that's
And I go there and I
See
get
that,
the
brothers?
That's
I
funny.
go, you stole my story. It's my story. You didn't play with John Lennon.
That's funny.
Anyway.
We got to have the both of you on and have dueling brothers. That'd be
I
great.
gotta take Joseph and Dante versus him and his brother.
Yeah. You still
Yeah.
need a reality show. I swear to God, it would be #1 hit.
Yeah, actually,
yeah.
I'd like that.
We just did a panel at the NAMM show, me and him, and a lot of people there, and it was funny. It was great, and we started, doing the brother thing. People loved it, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Where's the NAMM show? Is that in Saigon?
Yeah. That's in Viet.
It's right next to Taipan.
It's funny when we interviewed Carmine, we're like, "Where are you at right now?" He's like, "I'm sitting poolside in St. Martin or somewhere." I was like, okay.
Rub it in. No.
Yeah.
But
they got a rental house down. They rent a house. They don't rent it. They own it, but they rent it out for rental.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
Nice, beautiful down there.
Yeah.
Except when the hurricane hit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
It
not
wasn't
fun.
so nice.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Well, Vinny,
Yeah,
continued
that wasn't
success and best of luck, and we'll hope to see you soon. And
Kick ass. Kick ass.
Kick ass on that.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having
And
me.
you're always
And,
welcome to come
thanks
back.
for listening.
Vinny
Thank you.
Appice, give him a round of applause.
Thank you,
All
sir.
right. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
That was
Great interview.
great. Was
Yeah.
one of the best.
So is that a Spanish album too?
Gene, he messed up the station ID more than you messed up his name online. He's almost.
But
it was almost
actually,
a
it came
tie.
out perfect at the end.
No, it did.
Yeah,
It-
you did a
very
great
good.
job.
Very interesting.
Oh,
I
that
didn't.
was
I like when they
damn
mess
good.
up. I like when they
I
mess up.
had-
It's funny.
I
You get
had-
the bloopers.
I had no idea about John Lennon.
Yeah, I didn't know about John Lennon.
Ah,
either.
you've heard of John Lennon.
That's an incredible story. 16 years old, meets John Lennon. That's pretty cool.
All right, Gisela, where do we leave off with you?
Okay. No.
We're up to the third question. We're up to the third question.
We were doing the stereotype, and
We did that.
So one of our listeners says he stereotypes everyone. Everyone he comes in contact with,
Nice.
he stereotypes them. It's
Well,
just
we're
something
going to
he does.
stereotype him then.
Which will go into my next question, because
Right.
the reason why he does this is because he's an acting coach.
Oh, okay.
So
Actors are definitely
the
stereotyped.
third question is acting a learned skill or a natural talent? And please explain.
That's easy.
Well, it's. I think it falls under the same purview as a comedian.
Purview.
I don't think that you can teach somebody. You can't teach somebody to be funny. I mean, you could show them techniques and how to do it, like certain mechanics on stage, but you're not going to teach somebody to be funny. And I think the same thing applies to acting. You can't. And like I said, I have nothing against acting coaches or the comedy classes. Don't get me started on it. I had a long talk with Billy Engvall, and he's like, it's so, he doesn't begrudge anybody, but it's a waste of time. But acting coaches, maybe you could teach them pronunciations and stuff, and you can help them, but you're not going to make them, and this is just one man's opinion, you're not going to make them a great actor. I think either you have it in you or you don't.
So if you were schizophrenic, you'd have two man's opinion?
That's it.
Well, I understand what you're saying. You've got it in your soul.
Right.
But how about some of those greats that studied under Lee Strasberg?
I think it's like he said. I think it's a combination of the both.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
if you get lessons, you can learn the art of acting.
Yeah.
But the great actors also have something natural about it too.
Okay. All right. I get
So I think it's a combination.
I'll
I think
agree.
it's a combination.
What it's going to come down to, it's the same thing as a comedian.
Right.
What's going to make a comedian great is stage time.
Yes.
And what's going to make an actor great is screen time.
Yeah.
They're going to learn. They're going to make mistakes. Everybody's
Well,
going to make
stage
mistakes.
time too, obviously. Yeah.
They're going to make mistakes in the beginning, and then they learn from it, and they hone their craft.
Very good. I'll go along with that. That's the best answer, I think.
Yeah, it's like anything. I mean, the more you do it, the better you get. But it still has to be something natural in
It's
there
got to
too.
be something in your soul
that makes
yeah.
you stand out from everybody else.
What do you think, Gisela?
Well, I believe that you do have to have a natural, element as far as acting, and I do believe that you do need certain techniques depending
Sure.
on what you're doing,
Right.
because there's all different types of acting. There's stage, like Broadway
yeah,
acting,
right.
Then there's TV acting. That's two
Completely
different,
different, completely
different. So
Yeah,
yes, I
especially
believe
the
you
staging.
do need some.
Yeah.
And if I have to put an example out there, she's a wonderful woman, very famous, Suzanne Lucci.
Right.
Oh, Susan Liu, yeah.
She's not, to me, she's not a great actor. And what makes her not great is because you can tell she's acting. It's not natural. Like she's trying too hard.
Right.
And you can see it while you watch any of her shows.
Well, hey, let's take this seriously now. Let's stay on this point
Yeah.
for a
No, but
second now.
it's the breathing. You can learn all these little nuances. Like
Yeah.
But
Look.
like I said,
I am your father.
it's all going to come down to, like, I think you're born with it. I think Paul was born to be a musician, and he morphed into comedy, and he excelled at that too. Gisela, her father was a tremendous singer, and she has it in her too. She never followed up with it, but I think that's something that she could.
But I also believe with age comes reality. I mean, when you're young, you have no fear, which brings a lot of confidence. So you could do anything. As you get older, you're more realistic. You're like, oh my God, you know what could happen. So you're more careful. You watch your P's and Q's.
I think it's the other way around. I think when you get older, you throw everything out the window. I'll do whatever I fucking want.
I don't think so.
I know.
That's the way I feel.
Natalie K. Levant,
I
great
don't think
female comic, 86 years old.
Yeah,
That's how she does it.
She has nothing to lose.
Exactly, and that's her attitude. And she's
That's
wonderful.
the way you should have.
But is that
yeah.
after the age of 50? Because I didn't get there yet.
It
you're
depends
just a
on your
baby.
maturity. Depends on your maturity.
But would you? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carla.
Everybody hits their stride at different times. It could be.
Right.
It could happen to you next week. You know.
Yeah, some people bloom early, some people bloom later. It's just the way it
Or
is.
let Tim talk. He was going to talk.
No, it's okay. Just want to throw this out. The Susan Lucci point. Baby boomers, especially, we all
Yes.
know her. And the goof was that, hey, she's been nominated 2 million times.
17
never
times
won.
before she won, yeah.
What you raised is a good point. Could that be
Yeah.
why she never won?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Never
You know,
got a
I
See,
say.
I'm not familiar with her solos. I just know who she is.
She's gorgeous.
Yes, of course.
You know, she was married a million times on that. You know, All My Children was
Yeah.
one of her.
Okay,
But
that's interesting.
She's a good actress.
she-
She's not a great.
She was
actress.
not even a good actress. I just think she was eye candy.
Well, you have to give her
And-
credit. They kept her around for some reason.
It's because she was beautiful.
Well, you know, as
She's
she
And
got
beautiful.
ratings.
older,
And
you
she was
know.
part of the ratings.
Did you
I
need
know
that
the
during
feeling.
the daytime
Yeah.
soaps.
She's
Did
a-
you need somebody that beautiful? It's
She's
mostly women
gorgeous.
watching them
Right.
anyway, right?
And she had a likable fact. She had a
Okay.
big fan base.
Okay.
Just
Right.
like Dancing with the Stars, as Billy Engel
Oh,
sang.
listen, my
He's
mother-in-law's
not a
fan
great
base was
dancer.
like this, man.
Well, he had a train.
But he had a
though.
but he also had a very big fan base, which
Yeah.
kept him around.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and he didn't even want to be around, but
Yeah,
because he
it's
had
like, I
so
hope.
much
Plus
fans
another-
out there, he was winning, going
plus,
on to the next
plus
level.
another factor is soap operas. You get a fan base really quickly because you're in people's houses every day.
Exactly.
Good point. 5 days a week.
5 days a week, and that's
Well,
a
that's
great
the whole
background
thing.
for learning
Yeah.
how to act.
Doing a soap opera is very hard because it's
Lot of
every
work.
day,
New
a script
scripts.
every day, and I give a lot of credit to those people. What I couldn't do is, I mean, like I do acting, but I can never do like Shakespeare or something like
No,
To
it's
Kill a
different. That's different.
Mockingbird.
That's a different field
It's
entirely.
tremendous dialogue. I just couldn't at this
We
point in
just
my life.
have someone wrote in. Her name is Valerie. She said people can learn techniques, but everyone has a style that's different, and
Right.
some are better than others, which
Right.
is true.
I
We
agree.
agree with
It's
that.
true.
You know, but Valerie, what I'm saying is, and I agree with you 100%, but it has to be in you somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, but you don't know that you were meant to do this. Like Paul grew up and he found a love for music, and it's at a certain point that he knew that this is what I want to do. And the same thing with comedy. Comedy was just happenstance for him.
Right,
and
I
then
fell
he,
into it.
He excelled at it anyway, but he knew at one point he's like, wow, this is what I should be
But
doing.
from the outside looking in, I'm going to say something as far as that. I believe it's an art.
It is
So,
an
it
art.
absolutely
you know,
is.
so if you have that ability, that's an artistic ability to be creative in your own way. As far as comedians, I think it's a different story altogether. You cannot teach anyone to be funny. You're either funny or you're not.
You can
Right.
teach them
But
the
you-
art of it.
But you
Right.
can teach someone to act. You can. But are you going to be good at it? That's a different story. But same thing with comedy. You have to write your own material. You have to know how to stand up in front of an audience and
Deliver it.
own your material. Deliver it.
Comedy's got a lot of variables. I mean, comedy is a likability factor.
Right.
That whatever state, it's a marriage of the material, the delivery of the material, and the stage persona you're presenting.
Exactly.
And those three things have to meld. People have to make their minds up in the first few minutes. They like that personality on stage. If they like you, you can get away with almost anything, and they'll laugh. If they don't like you, I don't care how funny and witty you are, they are not going to laugh.
Right, you can have like less than perfect material, but if you
Right.
have that likability factor,
Yeah, it means a lot.
But and Paul has said this all the time: music is universal, comedy is not, but acting is worldwide. Everybody loves movies, and I think that goes along with music. Movies and acting is universal because, I mean, it's such a
I think comedy is also universal.
It's
a lot of
not.
people,
No.
I think so, in a different way. You may think of it as in a professional way, but
No, I'm looking in terms of
You know-
everybody has a different sense of humor.
exactly.
You have two people sit next to each other and say, that guy was the funniest thing I ever saw. The guy goes, I thought he sucked.
Right.
That's the way comedy is. It's not universal. It's not. Everybody has a different sense of humor.
Yeah, if you go to a Def Leppard concert, everybody likes to let Def Leppard. They're there.
Right.
You go to a comedy club, you're either going to like the comic or you're not.
Exactly.
There's no guarantees.
Yes.
When, you have
Yes.
an audience. there's so many, like he said, there's so many variables.
Yeah, comedy's not the same.
Yeah.
You know,
I've done both. I know. I've seen
But
both
you
sides.
got nothing to fall back on, at least in music.
Yeah.
If you're making maybe the bass player, the drummer can pick you up.
But I believe too,
Comedy,
like
you're on your own.
on the outside looking in, a comedian gets more attention
No.
than a musician. Yes, you do.
No.
No.
Yeah,
I've done both, man.
Let me
no,
give you-
no, that's
let me-
not true.
Yeah, I want to hear
Wait,
you out.
let me
to
give
get
you an
to a-
example first of
You
all
have to get
before
to
you
a
jump
certain
down my
level.
throat. Listen
ahead.
to me.
You have to get to a
If
certain
you're
level.
going to, let's say, an open mic for a musician, okay, and you're just going to a restaurant and they're singing, people are talking over you, they're drinking, they're not even listening to you sing.
Unless they pay
they're
to
not
see you.
respecting you. But if they're going to a comedy show open mic, they're quiet.
No.
They're paying attention to you. They're not just talking over you.
No, it's not true.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
If
I
you're going
think
to,
both.
if you're going to open mic for music or comedy, if the people didn't pay to get in, they don't
No,
care.
no, but people
That's a
are
good
paying
point.
both ways to get in.
But see,
They
you
don't
can have
care.
a dinner crowd.
Go
and
play,
have
do comedy in bars, see what happens.
When-
And then people didn't pay. They ain't gonna pay attention. You're gonna be talking, watching
No,
And
TV
I've done.
It doesn't work. That's
I've done
why.
Well, when you do a show, people actually listen to you.
because they paid to see me.
And they're not playing TV.
They didn't get it for
down
free.
there
But
either.
when Carlo produces shows, people are quiet and they listen. But let's
It's
say
a show they paid
but
for.
he also had singers on the show. While they're singing,
And
they're
they
talking
paid to see
over
the
it.
show. It's different.
But now they're talking over the singer, but they're not talking over the comic.
But because you don't need to really concentrate on the music, you can hear it. You can have people eating while there's a band on, but you can't have it while there's a comedy
But to
show
me,
going
it's
on.
disrespectful.
It
when I
might
see
be, but
someone
it has nothing to do.
that.
It has
I'm
nothing to do with
yeah, I
that.
wouldn't say you're wrong, Giselle. I wouldn't say
It
you're
is
wrong.
disrespectful, but it has
Carlo,
nothing to do with
yeah,
that.
You're right.
You can when you said you could do that, you have to be at a certain level for a comedian for them to command that kind of respect. You'd have to be at the tippy top of your game for what you were saying before that comedy is universal. You'd have to be like a Kevin Hart.
The only time I see people attentive to music is if they're in a concert setting.
They could be in a regular setting as long as
I
the people
have
paid
never
to go in.
seen any like in a restaurant or something, unless they're
restaurant's
at a
not the
wedding.
same.
But it's still you're a musician. You want that respect.
Yeah, but in a
wanna
restaurant
get out
atmosphere
there.
or a wedding atmosphere, you're just background music.
Well, that's what it feels like.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but you still
You
enjoy
didn't pay to see
it,
it.
even though you're not 100% focused.
But if
on
people
it.
are paying for a band, let's say at a
If you,
wedding,
if you put a musician or a comic in a bar situation where no one paid to go in to see you, they don't give a shit.
and there's all TVs on in the back,
They ain't paying
That's-
attention.
That's a
They're not
train
going to pay
wreck.
attention.
Yeah, exactly. If there's TVs in the bar, forget it. It's over.
I'll give you
I
an
don't care how
example.
funny are
Super
you.
Bowl
are.
Sunday.
Now you yourself,
Yeah.
Giselle is a huge fan of music. She
So am
loves.
I.
She
We
lives
all
with-
are.
La música.
And when
Everybody
you're in the
is.
car and you're listening to music, are you 100% focused on the music?
I get upset when you talk to me if I'm listening to something. Yeah.
No.
Look at what
talking
comes
about-
out. Look
say
at what
you're-
comes out now, huh?
Wait,
See?
No, it always comes
Say
out.
you're
Every show. It's
driving
called
by
the super
yourself
stuff.
and you're listening to it. Are you 100% focused on the radio, or you have other things going through your mind, but you're still able to enjoy the radio?
Yeah, you got to be able to drive. Seriously.
No, I'm going to answer that honestly. When I'm listening to music, I'm listening to music. I do pay attention to the road around me, but
Yes.
if I'm listening to music, I am listening to music. And that's it.
No, I understand it, but you're not. You can't.
I am 100% into
Depends
my
what
music.
you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Depends what you're doing.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but
You know,
it's
that's just me. Everyone's different.
I
I'm
think so,
asking
yeah.
me personally.
I'll tell you the
That's
difference
me.
between why I always say music is universal and comedy is not, because this is the reason why. Music is the only thing that affects every sense in your brain at the same time.
Right.
Nothing else does that. Comedy doesn't do that. Music does. That's why music is universal. And plus, music brings people back to a definite memory in time.
Yeah.
it
Yes.
hits you a certain.
It
Definitely.
does.
Yeah, you have a
Comedy's not-
wedding song, you have a prom song, when you had your first kid, you have
Anything.
anything.
Yeah.
And somebody
it brings you back
died,
to a
you
moment.
met
It
somebody.
brings you right to a moment.
And weed does
absolutely.
the same
Always.
thing.
Comedy could do
Comedy
that too, but
can, but not always.
Not to the extent that music can.
Right.
Like you may be able
Right.
to relate to a comedian's bit and say, "Oh my God, my mother was like that," but not like when you listen to it like maybe Led Zeppelin, and like it'll bring you back to when you were first in a concert or met that girl, the one that got away, and all these other things.
Yeah, and also go to a music concert and then go to a comedy concert. The music fans go a lot crazier than a comedian. They'll come
Yeah.
up and they'll laugh, they'll have
Yeah.
a great time, and they remember everything that you did, and how you made them feel. But music, people get fanatical. It triggers something in people.
They're very
Music,
loyal.
Well, there's
people.
emotion. There's emotion there.
Exactly.
yeah, there's a lot
mean,
of
The only
big
comics that
difference.
are getting something good on the side, and I mean it sincerely,
Right.
all the musicians do.
Right.
The handsome comics. They'll have the women like,
Right.
hey,
right.
Yeah.
Not like
That's the
music.
way it
Music,
works.
music can be ugly. You could be anything.
Yeah.
They want.
If you're up
Let
on
me.
stage,
Believe me, I've done both, and I'm telling you, music
Yeah.
is more fanatical.
Now,
Yeah.
Gisela,
More
all
fanatic.
last year we went to a ton of concerts, and now she listens to a variety. She likes reggae, she likes R&B, she likes hip hop. And you want to know something? I was impressed. Even though she's a good sport, she didn't know a lot of the people we were going to see.
Right.
But she hung in there and she appreciated it. And she was actually impressed by Jeff Beck.
Oh, Jeff Beck is incredible.
That was incredible.
That's not to be impressed.
Well, no, for her that's something new. Jeff Beck to us is a god.
Yeah, but she doesn't know. She knows the talent. She could see the talent.
Well, that's it. I love
Yeah.
music, I told
Right.
him, so it didn't
It's
matter
in your
that I didn't
soul,
know
yeah.
who he was.
Right.
He played really well. I didn't realize he's a famous guitarist, whatever,
Right.
but hey.
You remember the
Sounds
band
good.
Beck? Yeah.
No, I don't. That's the funny thing.
That's a
I
different
don't.
Beck.
I
Different
never
Beck.
heard of Beck or
Here's a-
Bandom, nothing.
We went to go see, and by the way, it was a great movie, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Great.
She knows of Queen. She's heard a couple of songs on the radio. But as we're watching the movie, you know the song "Crazy Little Thing Called Love."
Yeah.
She hears, she goes, "Oh my God, that's Queen!"
Queen.
She knew the song for so many years.
Well, it sounds like an Elvis song. That's
Yeah,
why.
and she
Oh
never
my
knew it was Queen. She goes, "I can't believe it," but she enjoyed, and even though she had no idea who
See?
Freddie Mercury
You learned
was.
something.
I
Freddie
learned-
Mercury.
I learned a
Who
lot
knew
of
he was gay?
That's the guys. That's the guys in us. We get to a certain age in our teen years. The songs and the groups become the baseball cards that we were 7 years old.
Right.
That's all we know then.
And now
Right.
when she
And
sits
Marion
at home,
DeFiore said Don Rickles is the craziest.
Oh,
He was
great.
he's one of
Rickle
the,
helps you do it better.
Rickles was one of the
remember that.
greats.
And now, because she watched Bohemian, she has a new respect for it. Like
I
when she,
do.
When she
I
does her
actually do.
class, I came home one day. She's listening to all like Freddie Mercury and
Yeah.
Queen on YouTube,
Yeah.
and she's actually digging it.
Yeah, but the guy that was playing Freddie Mercury, I think they went a little too heavy on his teeth. I mean, that guy could eat a fucking apple through a picket fence.
Yeah,
Did
but
you
he
see
had
the teeth
four
on that guy? He could have bit that thing
That
over
was
there
great.
with those things. I mean, Freddie's teeth. Freddie had some teeth, but this guy had fucking teeth that went to Pittsburgh.
But he
Yeah,
was
like
such
that.
a
It was
great
He
actor.
had
there.
4
Oh,
extra
it was great.
incisors.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
like a weed whacker. Yeah.
Oh my God.
You know, I didn't think I was gonna like the movie as much.
Yeah,
as
he
I
could-
mean, I
yeah.
can't even say I liked the movie. I loved.
I heard he
the
built a
movie.
dam at the end of
I was
the
like, Freddie, how old are you?
I love. Well, you didn't get to see it yet, huh?
Not yet.
Oh, he could
Oh
eat
my
shit through a
God.
picket fence,
But-
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just the way that.
They told the story really well.
Yeah,
I saw it on
like
the
how
stick.
he first came to the band and his
Right.
struggles with like he didn't know if he
My
wanted
favorite
to be
part-
straight.
Chronologically, it wasn't accurate.
Right. Yeah, there was a lot of
You know,
mistakes in it,
no,
but
but
I heard it was
but
great.
But my
yeah.
favorite part, like in a nutshell, was that there were 4 different personalities
Oh,
who
absolutely.
barely knew each other that got together and created magic.
Who's
Right.
the singer?
And history.
Who's the singer of Queen this day and age?
Yeah, Lambert.
Adam Lambert.
He's great.
Right.
He was in the movie.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't know. You know.
Yeah, I heard he was in the movie. I didn't
what-
see it. I
what-
haven't seen it, so I don't know.
The things that
What was he in the
impressed
movie?
me.
He was the truck driver. Freddie's on the phone with his wife.
Yeah.
Some truck driver walks into the
Okay,
men's
I didn't
room.
even
notice that.
Adam Lambert didn't want his name in the credits. That's why it's
okay.
not. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
All
a
right.
incredible story.
He's a great singer too.
He was great. I saw Queen
That's
with
why
him.
I want to see Queen again.
And he was good. And he was very upfront about him being in the band. He was like, listen, I'm not trying to be Freddie Mercury. These guys asked me and to turn this down to be a part of this legendary band,
Yeah,
I'd
really.
be crazy.
He's
But
a
he was
great
very
singer.
humble about it, but he
He's-
knocked
he's-
it out of the
What
park.
a voice he's got.
You know, there's never going to be another Freddie Mercury.
Oh, no
But
doubt.
Tim and Mark, you saw Bohemian Rhapsody. What I liked the best, the 2 best parts was when Brian May, who said, you know, I want to get the audience more involved, and he showed you the how We Will Rock You.
Yeah.
That was
That
amazing.
was cool.
I love to know stuff like that and how
I do too.
when they were doing the Bohemian Rhapsody song and how Roger Taylor had to sit in there and he was like, you know.
I had no
Galileo.
idea that went on that way. I'm sure, you know, and I'm not surprised either.
It just, I love to see how like everything came together.
Even that song itself, like it just, you know, even though I'm not a big Queen fan,
And
just
they-
that song in particular just was like it was close to home.
Yeah, and they didn't.
The wording.
The record company was like, "This, we're not putting it." They were fighting him tooth and nail, and it's amazing to see. Now it's easy to say, but he knew it was gonna be something. You know what I'm saying?
And what did they say? Was it a Philadelphia radio station that really broke the song? They were playing it over and over again. They told you this in the movie. I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember
was
that,
it
but I
Philly,
know-
perhaps?
It was
Yeah, it
some
was
kind
somewhere
of.
where he was one-on-one with the guy, and he had a demo tape of it, and he played
And
it.
the station kept playing it over and
Yeah.
over. And then the record company was like, "My God, there's this station." I think they said Philly.
and
Might have been.
Basically, it was a poem.
Yeah.
Some kind of
Yeah.
poem, and when we had Rick Springfield on the show, he said the same thing. Jesse's Girl was a B-side. He said, but some DJ out in the Midwest somewhere played it, and it blew them
Yeah.
up. So it's,
Yeah.
it's just, I love to hear stories like that of how stuff came together. It's like when you have a favorite food and somebody tells you how they made it. You know, and like just the creation of
Did you guys see A Star Is Born too? I mean,
Yes.
that
Yes,
was
I thought
another.
it was
Awesome.
very well done.
I told her I'm not a big fan of Lady Gaga, but she blew it out
She's
of the
amazing.
park.
She's
She
so
did
talented.
that,
It's crazy.
Like Lady
Lady Gaga.
You see what she's doing?
Bradley
She's doing the
Cooper is
Grammys?
phenomenal.
I mean,
sorry.
no,
She's doing the
but I'm
Grammys?
saying A
I
Star
saw
Is
rehearsal.
Born
She's
was
performed with
amazing.
Metallica.
Wow.
You know what,
Wait till you
Gisela?
hear it.
I've never
Wait till you
seen
hear it.
any Star Is
And
Born
she looked
movies
like a
ever.
freaking
I saw the
a
coming
lady.
attractions.
Like she
Yeah.
actually.
I find her
looked like a
more
lady.
attractive
Yeah.
without
Right?
all that makeup that she wears on
Absolutely.
stage. I do.
Absolutely.
You
And
know?
I was impressed. I'm like, she really did that part
I
really well.
kind of, my wife was like, "Come on, let's go see it," and I was like, "That's a chick flick," but I got into it.
I didn't
got
want to
sucked
watch
right
it, but
in.
I couldn't believe how
It was
much
great.
I liked it.
Bradley
And Bradley
Cooper.
Cooper, he was.
Oh, he's amazing. I love him.
Now,
good
the
actor.
song, the music is great. And
Now,
Yeah.
really
for
is.
you guys, I remember the original. I think this was actually the one I remember is actually the second. I think you told me that, Paul. The one with Chris Christopherson and Barbara
Right.
Streisand was the second.
Right.
I don't remember that too much.
That was the main one.
How?
No, that's actually the third.
That's
the
what
second
I
one.
heard. No,
First
no.
one was like in the 30s.
No,
or
he's
40s,
saying
wasn't
Lady
it?
Gaga's the third one.
Yeah.
This recent one, right?
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying?
no,
One
no.
with-
Christopherson's is the third.
Oh, so
Well,
is
what was the
this
what was the
Look it up.
second one?
Second one would have been with Malone. Famous actor, but died in our lifetime. Last name begins with an N. And there was one before that. I looked this
The
up.
earlier one was a silent
So
movie.
this is the
Ruby
fourth.
Keeler
That's
and
silent movie.
Al
James
Jolson.
Mason was in number 2. With, what was that, Judy Garland or something? Whoever was in number 2.
That's the first one.
No, that's the second one. I looked it up.
See, that's what I'm saying.
But I
Okay,
wanted to
that's why I
know
thought
is-
that was the first.
I
Who's on
remember.
first?
I remember seeing the one with
Mason.
Streisand and
Big
Christopherson.
deal in the 70s, yeah.
What? How different was that one compared to the one with Lady Gaga? Was the story
They're all different.
Similar,
They're all
or were
different.
They all totally.
I'll tell
They
you the
all
truth,
changed
I've
the
never
storyline.
bothered to go see any of the Star is Born movies, any of them.
You didn't
Any
even
of the
see
four.
this one? You have to see this one.
Tempted, but you know, who am I
It's the
gonna
same
You know
Jersey
what?
City. This one is more better.
Oh my God, it's so much better because anything can happen in Jersey. No, I'm kidding.
It's more better.
Who the heck am I going to movies with? I certainly don't want to cry by
You know
myself
what?
in
I
a
hate
theater.
to say it, but I did an Amazon thing and
Did
I
you?
watched it. Yeah, it was
That's
really
how I
good.
saw
Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody. I got that.
No, see, we actually saw Bohemian Rhapsody on Thanksgiving, but then A Star Is Born we saw it.
I know what you mean, but to me, I still love the theater experience of going
yeah,
to a
well,
movie
but,
theater.
but a movie like
Well,
that.
come over
with
our
music,
house because Carlo has a 75-inch TV. I'll get you a bowl of popcorn and there you
75-inch
go.
TV, my God.
I feel bad.
It's in
for
2
her
rooms.
because She goes to bed a little earlier than me, and sometimes I'm up. And you ever see when the
This is my
Griswold
bedtime.
plugged in the lights?
Yeah.
That's how
Nice.
much this TV projects.
And you hear it's like a bug zap.
Wait.
You can kinda
And
hear
then
it.
he plays a game that sounds like they're having a friggin' orgasm.
No, I mute it.
Wow.
No. They don't mute it because he has his headphones
What makes you think
on
it's a
and he's-
game?
It's like it's.
No.
And I'm like,
No.
what the fuck? And he's like,
Oh!
he goes,
I'm playing
he's
Tomb
like,
Raider.
Tomb Raider.
It's
Oh,
the
you're
same-
playing Lara. You're just Blair and
Now,
Crow. That's what you're
yeah.
playing.
when he's done, does he head to the
She's
showers?
in the Peruvian jungle,
He
and
should.
it's all these sounds in
Yeah.
the village. It's nothing like she's doing.
no. It's just like
course
that.
not.
Play the game, you'll hear it go. And I'm like, what's
I know that
That's
game.
disgusting. What game is that?
I know that game. Write that down.
It's Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
I'm gonna see if I can buy that pitch right now. Hold on.
And it's so fucking
I'm having a
annoying.
lot. I wear headphones and I mute it. She don't hear a peep because I have respect.
No,
so
that's not a
she
peep. I
wants-
hear,
She's eating the pastry.
I
She's
hear
eating the pastry under the bed.
orgasm. I
Yeah,
hear
she's
the
eating
orgasm.
baklava. She can't hear over that.
Listen,
Baklava.
I need my cream,
Isn't he a
and I
singer?
gotta get it anyway. I can.
Baklava.
Yeah. But
But you gotta go on YouTube and look at the rehearsal with Metallica and what's
Lady
her fa-
Gaga?
Oh my God, she does a great job singing the high part. It's just a great. They sound
She's a
incredible.
great singer.
Wait till you hear this.
I didn't
Wait till
even
you hear
know
it.
that. But Dice is in the movie. Star is Born.
Yes, her father.
He
Yeah.
plays her father.
He's
yeah.
the father.
Good father.
He played a really good role.
Who'd have
too.
known? Mazel tov.
He's been acting close to forever.
He's
because
actually a better actor
I
than he is a
remember he did
comedian.
a
Oh,
MASH
yeah.
True.
episode.
True.
He did a movie with Judd Nelson before
Right.
Nelson was real big.
Oh, I loved Ford
Dice was like
Fairlane.
a tough guy or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Ford
funny.
Fairlane, Brain Smash.
He's better as an actor than he is a
The
comedian.
Adventures
Yeah,
of
I really
Ford
do.
Fairlane.
Yeah, that was-
That's a guy flick.
But you know, so like I said,
The only thing I didn't like about A Star Is Born is the reality of the end.
yeah.
That sucks.
I don't
What?
know
They
how-
die? We all know that.
The ship
No,
sinks.
but the way it happened, it
Thanks
just,
for ruining it for
it was
me.
just wrong.
Son of a bitch.
The butler
He
did it.
dies.
Tim, did you
Butler.
actually? You never saw the one with Chris Christopherson?
That's the
No,
one I
I've
did
never-
see.
I've
That's the only one
never-
I saw.
Well, how did that? Was that story? How did that end?
I don't
dies.
remember.
He
I don't
dies.
remember. I really don't remember.
I don't
Was
know.
it a
Wasn't
drug-
he driving in a car or something by himself at the end or something? He just kind of dies, I thought. Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought that was Eddie in the
I just know that every one they changed the
That was-
storyline a little bit.
Mark, that was great. You know, and I like the end when he walks in.
Yeah, sees his reflection.
and it's him, and you realize
With the
he's
gray
not
hair.
dead. Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are great movies. Both of those movies are
Yeah.
great.
So, all right, Gisela, you got some riddles? You got trivia?
I
What do you
do.
got?
I have
Riddles.
riddles. Let's do this. Riddle me
Riddle me
this.
this. Riddle me this.
Okay, here we go. I beam, I shine, I sparkle white. I brighten the day with a single light. I charm and chant.
Flashlight.
And bring out the best. I always stand out from all the rest.
Flashlight,
What am I?
a torch, flashlight, the sun.
Son.
Nope, Mr. Sun.
Oh, it's like one of the few times I got a Woody.
A diamond.
It's like it brightens the
Diamond.
day. It
Everybody move
shines
down.
A
Yeah.
diamond?
No.
felt
I
something
beam, I
poking me in the
shine,
back.
I sparkle white. I
Teeth.
brighten the day. Well, you're close.
What'd
With
you
a
say?
single light.
Smile.
Very good.
Yeah.
You got it. You go, boy. Look at that.
Tim,
Very nice.
Okay.
Smile.
meds are working, buddy.
You see that? I'm always right in front of you, although you never see me. What am I?
Air,
Nope.
Glasses.
Nope.
view,
Oh, my glasses.
my view.
Future.
And my slippers.
View.
My slippers.
Your future.
View is view.
Very good.
What'd you
Look
say?
at
Your
you.
future.
He's got two.
Oh,
Wow.
Tim.
He wants that lap
Tim,
dance.
2-0 on the evening.
wow.
Okay. I'm enjoyed by some, despised by others. Some take me for granted, some treasure me as a gift. I was created to last forever, although I can be broken.
Wedding vows.
Your dick.
Oh
Tim-
my God, you are on a fucking roll.
Well, I'm divorced twice. That one I should know.
Holy shit!
Tim's drapes.
He paid for that answer.
Wow. Listen, I didn't.
And he's not sitting next to me, people, so he is not
And
cheating.
I haven't heard these questions before.
Right.
I'm just winging it.
Just so everyone
Wow.
knows, well, it's clear.
Up
Deep, very
next is
philosophical.
Tim
Okay, ready?
Eli. He's
Give-
3-0 on
Give,
the
Very
night.
good.
give Tim another one.
Thank you, Ollie.
That's actually vodka in that bottle.
Yeah. You have one for divorce?
I go from house to house, a messenger small and tight. Whether it rains or snows, I sleep outside all night. What am I?
Newspaper.
Jehovah's Witness.
What's the messenger part again?
I go from house to house, a messenger small and tight.
A messenger, small and tight.
Whether it rains or snows, I sleep outside all night.
Mail.
Messenger, small and
We'll
tight.
just leave this watchtower right here.
That's Larry.
And we'll come back.
Okay.
A dream.
Outside? No.
Messenger, small and tight.
Yeah, guys, small and tight.
The feds.
I knew a girl
Small
like
and
that.
yeah.
oh.
House
girl
to
just like
house,
that.
messenger, small and tight. I sleep outside all night or something.
I knew a girl like that, small and tight. She worked for the post office.
Don't forget, I go from house to house.
Tim's exes.
House.
Only if there's guys in the house.
Could be guys, gay.
And it's only X number 2. The first
no,
one
let's
is the greatest
dissect
mother
this.
ever saw.
Small and tight. I can't get past small and tight.
Go from house to house.
Let's
And it's
dissect-
not
Messenger
pantyhose.
is-
No, I'm kidding.
Wait, let's dissect this.
I need a cigarette.
Guys, say it again. I got leave a message.
Go from house to house.
Small and tight.
A messenger on.
Wait, Gisela, say the whole
Slight.
thing slowly.
Is this my neighbor?
I go from house to house.
Say it slowly and breathy.
A messenger.
No, stop. Just kidding. I was just kidding.
Small and tight. Whether it rains or snow, I sleep outside at night. What am I?
Messenger, small and tight. That's the key. The small and tight. Messenger, small and
What
tight.
sleeps outside at night?
I did a couple of nights ago.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
A messenger,
said something
small
bad
and
That's
about
because
tight.
you
Jill's
left the
food.
gravy on the stove and it burned.
This is going to be a good answer. I hope it's going to be a good answer.
Be my
No,
mail-
sometimes she
be my
comes
mail
up
if I
with
don't get
stuff and the answers are clunker.
Yeah, I know.
Blah.
It'd be in my mail if I don't go to the mailbox.
Can
Well,
we-
listen,
give us a-
Tim, you got already the first three.
Yeah, but this one's hard.
Yeah,
this
that's
one's
pretty
really
amazing.
hard.
Yeah, the
Give us
first
a-
three were
give
like,
us a
yeah, in
slight
my
hint.
ballpark.
Give us a slight hint.
Okay.
Go from house to house. A messenger, small and tight.
Messenger, small and tight.
Whether it rains or snows, I
Well,
sleep
they
outside
sleep
at night.
outside at night during the day. It's outside 24/7.
Oh, see, that's different.
There's the hint.
That didn't help at all.
That's the hint.
A sprinkler?
A sprinkler.
Message small and tight.
Very tight.
It's got to do with message being small and tight. A
I
message.
go from house to house.
Okay, ready? I'm gonna
A
give
cloud.
you. I'm gonna give you
the
a.
sky.
I'm gonna give you a hint that has nothing to do with this, but you might get it.
Astrology.
No.
The fuck is that?
Messenger small and tight.
Oz.
What?
The Wizard of Oz.
A curtain. The yellow brick road.
Road.
Dorothy.
Road. Who said road? You did.
How's messenger come
Yeah,
out?
how's that messenger?
Yeah,
Small
how's
and
it-
tight.
Small and tight. The messenger. They call that those lines. Messenger.
I've never heard that.
Oh,
You
see, I
did
told you. I
now.
tell you it was going to be a
Here on
clunker.
Hamilton
That's a clunker.
Radio.
That's
Not
no,
that.
no one ever gets
I got to
that.
tell you the truth.
That one
For the
sucked.
first 2 minutes, I thought you were saying swollen white. That's why I kept thinking in that
It's
direction. You know?
swollen and white.
Yes.
Gotta ice that
You
down.
better need to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Some ice
Okay,
on
ready? This is a fun one.
that. They have an ointment for that.
I spend most of my days eating white. Here we go with the white again. If I'm quick, I get rewarded with fruit and something blue. I'm in a dark room with blue walls, and I get chased by ghosts that roam the halls. What am I?
That's all over the place.
Wow. A
That
light
one's
bulb.
all over the fucking place.
A light bulb.
No.
Say it again. Say it again, because I would need. There's too many things going on
I
there.
spend most of my days eating white.
Eating
I'm
white.
Yes. If I'm quick, I get rewarded with fruit and something blue. I'm in a dark room with blue walls, and I get chased by ghosts that roam the halls. What am I?
Did you
Eating
smoke
white.
anything beef earlier?
Yes.
Before,
I wish I would get these. I would get these real easy then.
I did.
or,
A
now,
spirit.
honey, don't touch these pills, okay? Don't go into this bottle.
Don't touch them.
Gotta put
Spend
the
all
adult
day
cap
eating
on there.
white.
I can't open this.
Eating white.
Open.
Eating white.
I eat white.
I eat white.
Wow,
I
I'm
eat
totally.
white.
It's this is. You're right. It's all over the place.
In a room with blue walls.
Yeah.
Oh
In a
man.
room with blue walls.
Well, let's have
Better than blue
Pepto-Bismol.
balls. No,
At least
Anything's
if they
better than
turn
blue
blue,
balls.
that means I'm still alive. You
Anything's
know?
better than blue balls.
Right now, my sack is looking like E.T.'s head.
Oh my God.
No, whatever you do, don't phone home.
Yeah.
Darkness.
On the edge of town.
A cloud. A darkness. Darkness.
You know who would get this? Ed Ruffalo.
Oh, it's marshmallows.
Oh, then it's got to
would
be a
get this.
hooker.
No.
If it's Ed.
It's eating white.
It's
No,
eating
no.
white.
Yeah.
I spend most of my days eating white. If I'm quick, I get rewarded with fruit and something blue. I'm in a dark room with blue walls, and I
Eating
get
white.
chased by ghosts
Eating
that roam
fruit.
the halls.
Eating white. What's eating white?
And then if
What
you get
gets
rewarded with
rewarded with
Is
fruit.
that eating white flour?
Oh my god.
Is eating white flour?
No.
I have no
white.
idea.
If I'm good,
We're
I
not
get.
gonna. We're not gonna get
Something like
this
a
one.
snow
bat.
shovel or something like that.
You
again.
guys give up?
Yeah,
But
a
you thirsty
bat.
Yeah, I'm
for
done.
more?
I'm
Yeah,
done.
tapping out on this one.
All right, ready? You're gonna laugh. Pac-Man.
What the fuck? What is that? Pac-Man.
Two clunkers.
Just because
in
a
a row.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man eating white. You get rewarded by fruit.
I remember the walls being.
Chased
I don't
by
remember,
ghosts.
but I remember the walls being blue.
It's a
I
blue
can't.
one.
Yeah, I kind of do a little
Bloop,
bit.
bloop,
But
bloop. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
The last one.
the last one.
Oh, there's more.
They
more.
It gets
they
worse.
try not to. They try to beat me. They try in vain, and when I win,
That's it.
Wait, say it.
There's
What?
something missing
They
there.
try to beat me. They try in vain, and
I'm
then I
sorry,
win.
but I had to laugh at Gene. Okay, I'm doing it again. Okay,
Say it again.
They try to beat me. They try in vain, and when I win, I end up pain. What am I?
Life.
You end up what?
Try to
They
beat
try to
Time.
beat me.
Time.
They try in vain, and when I win, I end the pain.
Father time.
When you get your
Oxycontin.
When you get a,
I'm
when
sorry.
You get,
I wasn't sure.
When you
I
get
end
a
the pain.
needle.
That ends. That answers it.
when you get a needle,
No,
you have to slap the vein, and then it's painful when they
you get slapped.
when they
something,
draw
but
blood.
No.
Yeah, it's spanking a monkey. Punching a clown. Choking the chicken. We all know of.
Gene, hit the
Oh,
7-second
my
delay,
A
Gene.
redheaded stepchild.
Well, you were on the right track, so keep on.
Who's on the right
Slapping a monkey.
No,
Oh.
Who's on the right track?
Tim was on the right track.
When I
you say,
said
Tim?
what?
From the beginning.
Jerking the train?
When I said what did I say in the beginning?
So, well, I'll read it again so you can remember.
I mean, come on.
They
I'm
try to beat
60-something.
me. They try in vain, and when I win,
Oh,
I
yeah,
end
Father
the
Time,
pain.
I was thinking.
So what happens?
Death.
Very good.
Okay.
You got it.
That's it.
Gene chasing his recycling bin down the street.
Yeah, because I knew. Yeah, everybody tries to beat Father Time, and you know how it's going to end up anyway. All right, hey,
All right, where's
I am the
trivia?
Eggman.
I have trivia.
Cuckoo.
All right, listen up.
Okay.
And everybody who's listening can play along too online.
What are we playing?
A little
trivia.
trivia.
Oh.
Okay.
What kind of trivia?
So I'm going to read you a quote, and you're going to tell me who said it.
Oh,
Pac-Man.
in the movie? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a
Okay,
movie
ready?
quote? All right, Winston Churchill.
Gentlemen, the hopes and dreams of an entire town are riding on our shoulders.
Ghostbusters.
No.
No.
I know that one. Wait a minute.
Gentlemen, the hopes and dreams of an entire town are riding on your shoulders.
Blazing Saddles.
Where the white women at?
I need a
coming off.
load of dimes. Wait, wasn't Bert and
I
Gillian
can give you
Farnball?
Excuse me while I whip this out.
a hint.
Is this from a movie or something?
Yes,
Yes,
I
it
know.
can-
Oh, it could be The Right Stuff.
The film.
The film. I never heard of it.
Just
No.
tell us what
Do you
genre the
want me-
film is.
Do you want me to give you the name of the film or the actor? who
No, just
said
tell
it?
us the genre of the film.
Genre. And that's French.
Is it a comedy? Is it a drama?
Definitely a
It's
comedy.
the drama.
Oh, no
Drama.
The Sands of Iwo Jima.
It came out in 2004.
Ah.
Armageddon.
Directed by Peter Berg.
It's the same year you came out, wasn't it?
Peter
2004?
Berg.
That came out?
Hi, I'm here.
Armageddon's those little
Places,
things with the
people,
tails that
places.
run across
A
the road in
beautiful
Texas.
chocolate man.
Awakenings. My name is Leonard
All right, I'm gonna-
Lowe.
Should I give you the name of the who said it, and then you figure out what movie it is? No.
Yes.
Well, that'll do it.
It would have been Saddam Hussein.
Well, I'm gonna give you the name of the actor. You tell me what
Go
movie.
ahead.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh,
Men in
Oh,
Black.
Sudden Deep Impact or
Sling Blade.
Armageddon. Yeah.
Sling Blade, yeah.
I reckon.
What else was
No.
he in? Oh, Santa Claus.
People call it a
No.
Kaiser blade. I
Bad-
call it
Bad
a
Claus.
sling blade.
Wow.
I don't know what
And he was a coach.
Oh,
So it's a football movie.
Mr. Woodcock.
Hey,
That
come
was his
on.
name.
Get your mind out of gutter, will you?
I don't remember
on.
him coaching in movies. I've only seen a few of
Bad
his
News
flicks, so I
Bears?
won't have an
So
answer.
you guys give up?
Yeah, I don't
Bad
know.
News
what
Bears.
Friday Night Lights.
I don't even know.
Oh,
I
wow.
don't know.
TV
the hell
show,
it is.
right?
I'm thinking it was another movie.
Or is it
It
a
was
TV show
It
based
was
on
a
that
movie and a TV
Okay,
show,
that's
yeah.
why I don't know.
All right, next
All right,
one.
ready?
I'm
I'm gonna give you the director of this one. It's Quentin Tarantino. That's a
Okay.
big hint
Pulp
right there.
Fiction.
That woman deserves her revenge, and we deserve to die.
Pulp Fiction.
It's very uplifting.
No, it was
Oh, no,
Jackie
no.
Brown.
No, it's the one with the vampires.
Interview with the Vampire.
It wasn't one with the vampires. What the face? Oh, man.
Breaking Dawn. No.
With Antonio Banderas.
Breaking Ass.
Breaking Wind.
Breaking Wind.
Breaking Wind.
What's the Quentin Tarantino movie? The Slaughterhouse or something?
The character that said it was Bud.
That was my father's name. Bud.
Bud.
Fargo?
No.
Fargo yourself.
Wow.
No, Quentin Tarantino. What is the quote?
That woman deserved her revenge, and we deserve to die.
Is that the vampire one?
Is that the movie with what do they call that movies? The Swingers?
Swingers?
Yeah.
Give up.
Yeah.
Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. Yeah.
Know of it. Haven't seen it.
All right, this one.
It's actually a
Now,
good movie.
this
It's
one,
actually a
I'm
good movie.
expecting all four of you to get this right away.
Well, don't expect too much.
Was that Crabs?
Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what
Of
you're
course,
gonna
Forrest
get.
Gump. Yeah, that's easy.
No, that was my wedding vow number 2.
That defense is wrong. Okay.
You got to lob one in there once in a while.
Ready?
Yeah.
What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Ghostbusters.
It's a comedy.
It's got to be a movie starring Jack LaLanne, right?
No.
Oh, I misinterpreted the word. I'm sorry.
What year?
Repossessed?
No.
It's a wonderful day for an exorcism.
Scrooged.
No, nobody got exercised, right?
No, that was a great movie, too.
That is good. These in music world, these are called deep
Is
cuts.
this a comedy or a drama?
It came out in 1973, people.
Oh, so The Exorcist.
Very good.
I thought it was too obvious. Yeah, that's what I thought.
And it's almost like a comedy line.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I thought.
All right, very
Okay.
good.
Do you think I made a mistake splitting his brain between the two of them?
The man with two
Two
brains.
brains, right, but Steve Martin.
No.
My favorite line in that movie, he's got the brain in the jar, and he's taking it for a
Young
boat ride. He goes,
Frankenstein.
"What are you, out of your head?"
No. This movie came out in 1975.
A Clockwork Orange.
No, that's 69.
Well, I don't care what they did.
I know.
75. Splitting his brain. Oh, The Shining.
Nope.
No,
What's
that's
the line again?
We're not allowed to
Do
say
you
that
think
anymore.
I made a mistake splitting his brain between the two of them?
Oh, Young Frankenstein.
Nope.
I said that.
Oh,
no.
you did?
Good
Yeah.
guess.
It's definitely a horror movie, but it's
Come on, Eddie. Trying to figure this out.
Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein?
No.
No, 75.
Oh, 75.
No, I thought it was the age. I'm sorry.
75. What came out horror?
Do you want me
movie?
to give you the director of this one?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Jim Sharman.
Wow, never heard
Oh,
of him.
that changes everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tell us what genre the film was.
It's a comedy, I believe.
Is it a comedy?
You think?
They stopped doing those commercials, by the way, because the guy got carpal tunnel. Mr. Whipple.
Mr. Whipple.
You said The Shining, right?
Yes.
You give up?
I could see that happening.
Can you give us
No,
one
The
of the
Shining
actors?
was 80ish.
I'll give you.
No, it wasn't.
Who
Oh,
said
it was
it?
70s.
Tim Curry. Frank.
Oh,
Oh,
Rocky
wow.
Horror.
Yeah,
Very
Rocky
good.
Horror.
Horror, yeah.
I do the rock myself.
Let's do the time.
Let's do the rock.
Okay, ready? Now,
Stimulating.
I'm expecting you guys to get this one.
You said that last time.
Well, we did get
You were wrong that time, too.
Give me a word, any word, and I show you that the root of that word is Greek.
Oh,
You mentioned roots. I'm thinking roots.
My big fat
No,
Greek
Big Fat
wedding.
Greek
Very
the first one.
good. Who said it?
Kunta
The
Kinte.
father.
them.
Father.
What's his name?
Fiddler.
Stavros.
Mr.
Gus.
Gus. Okay.
And his brother, Lynn. Lynn
All
Gus.
right, now I'm expecting Carlo
It's
to
just
get
a Connie.
this one.
Connie.
Connie Lingus.
Spray the Windex on everything.
All right, go ahead.
A man with priorities so far out of whack doesn't deserve such a fine automobile.
Oh, that's Animal House.
Nope.
Oh, wait a minute.
Cadillac Man?
No, I've heard that before.
A man with priorities so far out of whack doesn't deserve such a fine automobile.
Caddyshack?
Nope.
Analyze this. Analyze that.
I'm surprised, Carlo, you didn't get this. This movie came out in 1986. Director John Hughes.
Ferris Bueller.
Very good.
Ferris
Ferris
Bueller.
Bueller.
Wow,
yes.
Right.
Carlo, you get
Has
the
it.
shit list now.
I was like,
I would
Okay.
have gotten it.
was in there.
eventually.
That
in
movie's
there.
on every day.
Great big
Somewhere.
globs of greasy, grimy gopher
Please,
guts.
no.
Mutilated
Caddyshack,
monkey meat.
Carl, Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm expecting all four of you in sync.
Again.
Chewing gum is really gross. Chewing gum I hate the most.
Oh, it's a rhyme.
Ooh,
Cat in the Hat.
No. It would be
Something wild.
no. You're on the right track though. Willy Wonka.
They live.
Very good. Willy Wonka.
Wow.
I was on the right track with something
Self
wild.
points. Am I ready?
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
So we do a looky-loo. It's actually a looky-loo with a bundle of joy.
That's that Chinese comedian that walked the whole club out of New Brunswick, right? Looky Loo.
Preetsy's Honor. No.
So we do a looky-loo. It's actually a looky-loo with
Throw
a
that one right
bundle
out
of
there.
joy.
No, they had the thing where they had the fake baby in the carriage. And it was there, so Kathleen Turner was the hit woman.
Right.
And she threw the baby up in the air.
Well, let's
with the
see.
bath water?
Is anybody out there?
How many wheels are on a miscarriage?
If you get this answer correct, we will give you a free CD.
From Brett Eidman,
From
because
Brett
I don't want
Eidman.
mine.
That's not right.
Nice.
Be nice, you monkey ass.
Be nice.
A monkey ass. Wow.
So here we go. So we do a looky-loo. It's actually a looky-loo with a bundle of joy. So we'll leave that one for one
Quigley
of our
Down
listeners.
Under.
Okay, go on to the next one.
You don't know what it is?
No, I'm leaving it to see if anybody
Oh,
gets
okay.
it. They'll get the
All
CD.
right, go ahead.
Now, if you two don't mind, I'm going to bed before either of you come with another clever idea to get us killed or worse, expelled.
Animal House. Who else
Nope.
gets expelled?
School days.
It's something current, 2001.
So either you get another idea for getting us expelled.
The what's that one with the
And I'm surprised Carlo didn't get
The one with, is it the
Right
one with
away.
Will Ferrell? The one with Will Ferrell?
Nope.
2001.
Who said it? Emma Watson.
Oh, Harry Potter.
Very
A
good.
Harry Potter
Yeah.
thing.
You got it.
I'm not big
I
on
just
Harry
like-
Potter.
Oh,
That's
you like
that's the name of my new waxing
I'm
salon.
not,
I
I
call it
really-
Harry
Now-
Potter's.
Now I'm expecting all my men here to get this one. All of them.
Easy.
Tim's Drapes.
I'm sorry. This is the Fun V The Humdrevy is back there.
Okay, I'm not a clue.
I'm sorry. This is the Fun V. The Humdrevy is back there.
I never even.
Okay, all right.
Bradley
okay,
Cooper
all right.
movie where they all go on to Vegas for the night in the
Movie
temple.
came out in 2008, directed by Jan Favreau.
John Favreau.
Oh, Swingers.
Nope.
No.
Again.
John Favreau was the.
I'm sorry. This is the Fun V.
The Hangover?
Humdrevy is back there.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Wow, Carlo.
The Hangover?
Disappointed. No. You give up?
Wow, you
No.
disappointed a lot in him tonight.
Very much.
Wait till-
the
wait till later.
Iron Man.
I think at this point now.
Yes, Iron Man.
Yeah.
Iron
Hey,
Man.
Directed.
Over
think-
here
Thank
we
you.
got, yeah.
You think at this point now? Wait till
And
later.
who said it? Tony
Bottom
Stark.
bumps.
Tony Stark said it. Robert.
You know, by the way, I'm still waiting for my laundry to come back from Iron Man. And he's not even Chinese.
Oh my God.
He's Russian.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, he should take his time.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Shawshank Redemption.
Sure.
Morgan
Yep.
Freeman.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep. That one. No.
Could be
Now,
Samuel L. Jackson. I
ready?
saw him in the shop, right?
I want this as a chorus.
What was in his wallet?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All for you, chorus. Ready? Right after I say the last word, I want you all to jump on it.
Oh.
I feel the need for speed.
Top Gun.
Really? Only one guy?
And we knew it.
Fuck.
I know it, never saw the movie.
We all
What
know
happened
it.
to my chorus line?
You never
Sorry.
saw Top
Sorry.
Gun?
Everybody knows of it, never bothered to see it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised at you, Tim. You're a pop culture icon.
Yeah, but I've been through the danger zone.
Yeah, you
Oh.
I only watched it because I liked Kelly McGinnis back then.
All right, ready?
Yeah, the years have not been good to her.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Stronger.
No,
Stranger.
stranger.
Well, that's Friedrich Nietzsche, the original quote.
I believe whatever doesn't kill you
Freddie
simply
Nietzsche, we used to call him in the neighborhood.
makes you stranger.
Eddie, how you doing?
Night Shift.
Aliens.
Night shift.
It's a horror movie.
It's directed by Christopher Nolan. Came out 2008.
This is Bill telling Chuck to shut up. What doesn't kill you?
You like
makes
music, kid? Yeah.
stranger. Saw.
What the hell is he coming up with these?
Oh, Mary, that was a good guess.
What'd Mary
Ocean's
say?
11. Ocean's 11.
Doesn't kill you, makes you stranger.
Stranger?
What did Mary guess?
Stranger.
Rounders.
She guessed Ocean's 11.
Is it
She
a
was right
comedy?
then.
Is it a
No,
comedy though?
wrong.
Oh, maybe she had one of the wrong
Is it a
numbers.
comedy?
Yeah, it's got
No.
its moments. It's got its
Rounders.
It's,
Action movie? Action movie?
It's an action movie, I would say.
Action
Is it a
Jackson.
Schwarzenegger movie?
No.
Stallone?
Christopher Nolan, 2008.
Hello, Adrian.
And I'm going to tell you who said it, so
The
maybe
Rock.
you'll figure out what movie it is. The Joker.
Oh, okay, Batman.
Batman.
Which one?
Dark
one of
Knight
them.
Rises.
The Dark Knight.
the one with the cape.
The one with the cape.
The one
The
with
mask.
cape.
The one with the
How
car.
many
The
Batmans
Batmobile.
Freddie Nietzsche, as we used to call him. The old
Freddie Nietzsche.
All right, this is the last
Freddie Nietzsche.
the last one for tonight.
Did you eat yet? Freddie Nietzsche?
Shut
Is
up.
it? Yeah, well,
Just
yeah,
shut
okay.
up.
No, go ahead.
You had me at hello.
Oh, that's Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire, yeah.
That's it.
Had me at hello.
I figured I ended with the shut up.
Very good, everybody.
Shut up
Very
and
good.
dance on my face.
Tim, what do you got going on? Anything?
Check, dig this. Connecticut woman arrested for DUI on vanilla extract. It's happening in New Canaan, Connecticut. A Connecticut woman charged with driving under the influence was drunk on vanilla extract.
Sweet.
Which contains a significant amount of alcohol,
Indeed
the
it
police
does.
said. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that New Canaan police found 50-year-old Stephanie Warner Greasy parked at an intersection and dancing
Her name was
around-
Greasy or she was Greasy?
It could be Grice, G-R-I-S-E.
Wow.
But that'd be Grice Aroni.
Better than a PC.
Which is Italian.
Any relation to Bob Greasy?
Bob Greasy, yeah. Yeah, and wow, yeah, that's right, Bob Greasy.
Greasy.
Anyway, she was parked at an intersection, dancing around her vehicle, claiming she was the queen of the fairies, and if they didn't
that was
leave her
Paul Lynde.
alone, yeah, right, sorry, and if they didn't leave her alone, she would sprinkle them with fairy dust,
Wow.
and then proceeded to sing the classic Vanilla Fudge song, "You Keep Me Hanging On," at the top of her lungs.
That's a great song.
Hey, Vanilla Fudge came up again tonight, second time. Police say they detected an odor of vanilla on her breath. Her speech was slurred, and she was unable to answer basic questions. That could have been one of the cooking shows when you think about it.
She was better off getting a Slurpee.
They didn't batter her, did they?
This is Julia Childs.
Police later found several empty bottles of vanilla extract in her vehicle. Police say she was arrested after failing sobriety tests.
You think?
And Warner Greasy was released on a promise to appear in court. No lawyer was listed for her in online court records.
Because they all hung up on her.
She definitely was half-baked.
DUI, but I'll tell you what, we'll let you go. You just got to promise to
That's
come back.
funny. Warner Greasy sounds like a movie theater, a movie company.
What police department does that? All right, get out of here, but if you promise to come
Just
back.
think
you
of
can
all
leave.
the cops.
That had to be the Willy Wonka department.
Vanilla extract's
this-
expensive too.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it has
They're
liquor
cheaper
in
off
it.
with a beer.
Yeah, when I read it, it kind of made sense. Yeah, it's got hooch in
Call
it.
me an idiot. I never knew it had alcohol in it.
A little bit. Not. You have to drink an awful lot
I
of
mean,
it.
really, you got to
No,
drink
they
a really
found
awful
several.
lot
It's
of.
like the rum cake. It's so minute, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like it's like the shots. You know, when the guys come in and buy them all the time.
Carlo, you said something earlier in tonight's broadcast. You mentioned Shakespeare. Who fucking brews that? That's a great name for a beer. Shakes. That's like hardcore
I
alcoholic.
know, right?
Shakespeare.
The Clown.
Well,
Shakespeare.
that could have been a
Shakes
nice
the Clown.
strip club.
You guys ever see Shakes the Clown?
This is
I did see that movie.
That's a great movie.
That was such a cult movie. I had to see it.
Yeah.
You
it's
take
Bobcat.
your
That's
vanilla
a great movie.
extract and you sip. Tim, what do you got going on with anything coming up?
Yeah,
show-wise?
believe it or not, Saturday night this weekend, we got a fundraiser doing with Dan Regan. We're down in South Jersey, Carney's Point. Carney's
good.
Point, there's a golf club down there doing that. I've got, I think we're doing a show for Ed Ruffalo coming up in the near future too. I could be, in about a month or so.
Right.
Yeah, a couple of things coming up. I've slowed down, but things are starting to come
Do you
forward.
have a Facebook page, Tim?
Yeah, I do.
Tell people so I can know.
Called the Eggman Cometh.
Look me up on Facebook. It's Tim Eli. Eli, that's my name. It's a picture of Pete Townsend. Oh, I love that
Nude?
picture too. It's no. It's from Empty Glass, 1980. They always called it the Who album that never was,
Right.
because the Who hadn't broken up yet. And it's him sitting at a bar with two gorgeous chicks on each shoulder, man.
Ain't that ironic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look me up on Facebook. Tim
Mary,
They will
Mary,
reach 12.
Hold on.
Mary DeFiore did get. I'm going to give you the answer. It's not 100% correct, but you're close enough. So you just inbox me your address, and I will send you the CD. She said Ocean's 11, but it's Ocean's 12.
12. Yeah.
She had the right ocean.
She was
off one ocean.
And you did it right, so you're fine.
Okay.
And Matt Damon is the one who said it.
Yeah.
The first
This wasn't a
love
lake.
is the deepest. Baby, I know. Never mind.
You're doing Ed's Club up in up.
Rutherford.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Good.
Rutherford.
Good.
So that's,
Paul, what about you?
I like when the shows just kind of present themselves. I do. So.
Yep. Okay. Next Friday, the 9th, I'll be in Long Island at the Clarion Hotel on Veterans Highway, and the 15th, the Valentine's Day weekend, the 15th and the 16th. The 15th, I'm at Howard Johnson's in Tom's River. $20. You get a buffet and a show, and it's Valentine's Day weekend. So that's Friday, and then 16th, you and I, Carlo, are doing a show it's called Fiorendo Community Center. It's in Cliffwood Beach, New Jersey. And it's a fundraiser for the Matawan Softball Booster Club. So come on down to that one. So that's Valentine's Day weekend. 15th, Tom's River, and the 16th, we're at Cliffwood Beach.
It's a suppository for your endo.
Yeah, Fiorendo.
That's good. That's good.
In there.
That's the Italian preparation H.
February 8th, I'll be at St. Catharines Boulevard at the Social Security office, pleading my case.
Right.
And Mark
Was that
Merriman will
disability?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
have a bunion removed
Recertification.
next week. Gonna have them fix a hammer toe.
be- And if you
Then
want,
I'm gonna get a proctology
But,
exam. Hello.
if they want to order,
But if
any of
anybody
your-
would like anything custom made from, I am offering a 50% discount on all vinyl, outdoor vinyl. So I could do Home Sweet Home.
That's called a road outdoor
Mary
vinyl,
J.
right?
Blige.
Yeah.
It's called the Messenger.
Big Boobies live here. Anything you want, I could write it for you in vinyl, outdoor signage. 50% off. Just mention Hamilton Radio.
It's almost half.
.net.
.net, and that will be your
type in the
promotional
promo
code.
code recyclable garbage
No.
can.
Hey, what's the difference between Valentine's Day and my birthday?
$12.
Half of my paycheck and head.
OMG.
You have
How
bad
you
knees and no
doing?
interest.
I actually have a doctor's appointment on Valentine's Day if anybody gives a crap.
We
Good
all.
place to find chocolates.
Oh my goodness.
On Valentine's Day,
That's life is like one.
Valentine's Day, I always get a hard on.
Paul, what's the words of the week?
Words of the week are purview and dissect.
Whoa. Okay.
I got to tell you a joke, too. I got a joke for the week. Here you
Go
go.
ahead.
Guy, 80 years old, goes to the doctor. Doctor gives him a jar. He said, I want you to come back in 2 days with a sperm sample. Guy comes back 2 days. Doctor goes, there's nothing in the jar. He goes, well, I tried my right hand, nothing. I tried my left hand, nothing. My wife tried with her right hand, nothing. Tried with her left hand, nothing. Then my neighbor came over, and she tried with both hands. I go, wait a minute, you had your neighbor? He goes, yeah, none of us could open the jar.
I tell you what, if it was Rock Hudson, he would have just spit in the jar on the spot.
Wow.
He would have got botulism
Yeah.
from sausage in a can.
You know, I always thought an OPGYN was like a woodwind instrument they play in orchestras.
Oh my God! I want to thank everybody for coming down. Mark Merriman for sitting in. He's
Thank you
always
so much.
welcome.
This was
Anytime.
great.
Nice
Anytime.
to meet you,
Anytime.
brother, man.
Absolutely.
You guys are
Nice
awesome.
meeting
Thank
my
you so
brother.
much.
Tim, always a pleasure with you. And Gisela,
awesome.
as always, she knocks it out of the park. And Paul is the quintessential
Quintessential. That's like
Ooh,
5
wow.
quints.
quintessential
It's
wingman.
Robert De Niro.
Quintessential.
I want to thank our guest.
What was a quintessential
tonight.
what? What was that quintessential what?
Wingman.
Never mind.
Oh,
Just let him
wingman.
go with it.
I didn't know what he was.
Oh my God! And I got a new bat.
He was just being the quintessential Gambini. I want to
Not
thank our
Gambino.
guest tonight, Vinny Appice.
Oh, he was awesome.
And
Yeah,
Vivian Campbell, which we recorded an interview with him, and we're going to play that as our exit. I hope you enjoy that. Make sure you check out their album, Last in Line. Breaks February 22nd. The album is called 2. And Def Leopard will be on tour. Make sure you come out and see them. So right now,
And thank you, Brett Eidman, for the CD. Thank you.
Sincerely,
Yes,
thank you, Brett.
And
All right.
Mary, don't forget to inbox me your address.
Oh, she will. I think we have it from the last time, from the other thing she won.
possible,
It took
I'm
us
not
3
sure.
months to mail her a book. But I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. Right now, we're going to bring you to the interview with Vivian Campbell. That's all for this week. We'll see you next week. This is the Out of My House Radio Show.
Thank you.